Pewter is about possibilities. It is an idea made real. Crafted with precision. It can make tradition timeless. Pewter evolves. When allowed to be free, it can captivate you. Pewter is our legacy, and we're keeping the legacy alive. Royal Selangor, since 1885.
A very warm welcome to eRGP Global Edition Season 15, round 3 of 4. Des Corkill back in the chair after a long time away. I was here at the very start alongside Victor Ang to talk us through 4 categories on 3 different races today, and double races on both. Global Edition is growing and growing and growing, and is building upon the roots that we set during the pandemic.
Indeed, it has. I mean, it's great to see how far it's come since those early days. You know, we were reminiscing, just before the stream about how long it's been, like 5 years. You can imagine that amount of time just kind of slipped us by, hey?
Absolutely. I remember it very well. Okay, so, but we've got new names, new people, new circuit today. We're going to be at Daytona. We'll tell you a little bit more about that at the moment. Your thoughts of the season so far, though? For me, looking on, I've been an observer. Lots of new names and lots of real new talent coming onto the eRacing.
Indeed, it has. We've been seeing a lot of tremendous growth, especially for this season. This season has seen the largest entry list that we had, since the beginning of the Global Edition. So this time around, I think we've been really successful in engaging a lot of the sim racing communities, not just in Malaysia, but all across the Southeast Asian region. In fact, so it's great to see all these people coming in, showing us their stuff and giving us plenty of entertainment over the last few rounds.
This is the calendar that we've got for you. We started off in Silverstone, the famous old place, and then on to Sebring yesterday. Last time round, that was on the 19th of July. A couple of weeks have gone since then. We're off to Daytona today, and the season will finish in a couple of weeks' time at a venue still to be arranged. Alex does like to do that, keep people in waiting. But Daytona for round 3 is the venue. Four very good circuits, well, 3 that we've known so far. Round 4 should be interesting. This is the Daytona circuit. I love it. You've got the banking. It's not quite the speedway circuit. You've got the intricate inland parts just after turn 1, 2 and 3, where the international horseshoe is there, as well as the bus stop corner as well. Plenty for the drivers to worry about.
Yeah, plenty for them to think about too. I mean, this is one of those tracks that can be really tricky for those who are not used to it, particularly that first turn. You can see even from the map overview here, how the radius changes in the middle of the corner itself. So I'm expecting a lot of turn 1 incidents, especially in our copper class, one of the more entertaining class, I should say, in the Global Edition. But yeah, I mean, ever since Daytona opened up in 1959, it's been the venue of many a race here, particularly made its name in the NASCAR series. It's been played host to sports car racing, even motorcycle racing as well, which I just literally found out before the stream, which is insane for me to think about, but it's just that level of circuit, isn't it?
It's a brilliant circuit. It is an international speedway. The banking, of course, is one of the real features of any of them. Here's the 4 cars that we've got. Now we'll go from right to left just to talk us through them. It's a one-make championship for the Copper class, all in the Porsches, Porsche Cayman on the GT4s. That's a real equalizer for all of the competitors.
Yeah, I mean, it's making the racing very close. You know, despite all the variance and skill level, like Copper class is kind of the entry level for everyone in Global Edition 15. But we've seen like even the most experienced drivers and even like the newest drivers are still able to race very competitively within that class. Aside from that, we also have the FI GT3 cars being used for the bronze class. This is using a mod provided by BCRC, and of course for the gold and silver class, they'll be running the Le Mans version of the cars here. So Le Mans Hypercar for the gold class and the Prototype 2 for the silver class.
As for the gold class, though, the hypercar, how will that really cope with Daytona? Because Daytona can be a real challenge. The banking, I'm thinking in particular, the banking could be a challenge.
Could be, but then again, you know, these Le Mans hypercars, they're also known as LMDH. The D literally stands for Daytona. So these are cars that are specifically designed, you know, to handle all sorts of different racing conditions. And Daytona circuit is not going to be anything too strange for these guys, especially. So our championship leaders right now, as of round number 2, Damira Hasnam has taken the top spot here for the gold class, taking over from the leader of round number 1. As well as we look at the silver class, Chesalam still stays in that top spot. He hails all the way from Hong Kong. Muhammad Fawza Aleem has so far maintained his lead in the bronze class, hailing all the way from Sri Lanka. And last but not least, Sebastian Gunawan also has maintained his championship spot since round number 2.
Yeah, Sebastian won both races in this competition so far in the Copper class. Teams Cup standings, MPRGP leading the way. The Indonesian-based side, 266 points they've accumulated. It's a massive lead they've got over Pacquiao Racing Team. I think the likes of Pacquiao, Papega, Metadai Sim Racing and Infinity Racing, down to Passionate Esports, even Speed Chasers MC, I think they're all just chasing second place because MPRGP have got such a huge lead even at the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, and as we have a look at the Team Cup standings, Nations Cup standings here, you can see that Indonesia has shown up massively this season. So they're finally challenging Malaysia for the top spot when it comes to the Nations Cup. In fact, they're only 12 points away from achieving that. So perhaps if our Indonesian championship leaders are able to extend the lead even further, we could potentially see a new nation stand up top of this leaderboard.
We do like to see variety on eRGP. We like to see new names, new faces, new people getting titles. It is very good. Right then, moving on to the driver standings. Our first race will be the Copper class, and Sebastian Gunawan has had a very, very good season so far. Won race 1, both the sprint race and the reverse grid. In race 2, he won it and got fastest lap on a P3. So he has been the outstanding competitor. An 18-point lead from Aidan Tan from Infinity Racing Endurance Team, who's had a very good time. Fastest lap on P2 in race number 1 in Silverstone. In race number 2, a P1 in the reverse grid race. I think drivers who are able to win reverse grid races, they get a big thumbs up from me.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's really the challenge, you know, to really test your ability when it comes to racing craft, doesn't it? Nevertheless, we're already jumping towards the end of the qualifying session. Obviously, they've started a little bit earlier than expected here. Out of that, Dominic Sia is currently the pole position holder after that 6-minute qualifying session here, Des.
Sebastian Gunawan in P3 as well, carrying on his very, very good work. A lap time then, Dominic Sia, 0.33. That can't be right. We need to be looking at that. So, yeah, because Gunawan, we're expecting around about the 150s for the Copper class.
Should be at 150. I'm not sure why exactly Dominic was able to set a 133 there, but perhaps we'll have to check on that after this.
Maybe he's not in a GT4. Maybe he's in a plane. He's absolutely flying around. Yeah, I think we need to double check on Sia to see if he's on pole position. Behind them, you've got Aidan Tan. Right, that's really good news for him. Second in the championship standing. So Tan and Gunawan, they are looking good. Car's number 23, and Gunawan is just behind him as well. Dominic Sia, Yeah, he is still there at the top of the leaderboard, and I think will be going onto pole position.
Yeah, he will be starting in that front row alongside Aiden Tan. Sebastian Gunawan, the person in the yellow car, just in the second row, is certainly the one to watch out for. He is the championship leader after all, starting alongside his own fellow countryman, Andre Setiawan. So we'll have about 30 seconds before the start of the race. It will be a standing start here, obviously, as Assetto Corsa isn't able to handle rolling starts. We'll have to run them from the start of the grid here. So it will be a 15-minute race. It will be one where drivers will have to take on to the challenge of navigating this Daytona road course, and may the best driver win.
And let's survive the first corner. I think this standing start is going to be fascinating, because if somebody from row 3 or 4 can get off to a big start and the red lights are about to go off, we are underway, and it's a great start from Sebastian Gunawan from P3 into the lead immediately. That is fantastic work from the championship leader, and he is looking very good indeed. Sebastian Gunawan, wow, talk about a fast start. That's terrific work from him, and clean into the international horseshoe.
Well, clean, but already a lot of chaos happening in the background there. It's a bunch of cars gotten themselves tangled up in that first turn, as I have predicted here on Daytona. But the front runners are able to come through. It looks like Sebastian Gunawan is able to stay in the lead so far. Dominic Sia's name is still on top of the leaderboard here, but I think that will change as soon as the running order has gone through their control lines. In the meantime, though, Gunawan and Setiawan are continuing through the infield section. They come into now the next hairpin turn. So Gunawan already having practically 1 second lead. He's done a very good job now of being able to stay in lead of this race.
Yeah, Iqbal Kuryawan in P2 at the moment. That's looking pretty good. Gunawan, okay, you can ignore the top left just for now until it sorts itself out. Aiden Tan didn't get off to the best of starts, and they're the ones that we're really looking for. Jeremy Yeo as well, down in P9 at the moment. He's one of those who needs a good race today and needs to pick up some points. All in the Porsche GT4s. But there wasn't as much mayhem as I feared there would be on turn number 1. These guys are getting far, far too good at this sport.
Well, a bit of mayhem might be on the cards here, as Zarif Adam is getting chased up by Bardia Nick. Bardia going around the outside here. It's going to be a bit risky going through the bus stop chicane that way, but it looks like Zarif is going to back out of that, allowing Bardia Nick to move up into 6th place.
Right then, who is 4? So Bardia Nick is in 6th place. We are on board there with 2-3-1, which is Shazli. Shazli way down in the championship standings at the moment, but you never know. This is the banking. This will be such a fun part of what we're doing. We're on board with Zarif Adam, car 231 in the purple livery.
Yeah.
Bardic Nick inside of him.
Unique thing about banking turns is that, you know, it doesn't matter whether you're inside or the outside. It's all about the speed, the average speed you're able to carry through those banking. But they have to brake hard going to turn 1, and Bardanik is able to retake the position in front of Shazli, so that allows him to stay in P5. Shazli's probably going to have to try to fight in other parts of the circuit here, because this infield section can be a little bit difficult to set up those overtaking moves here.
Yeah, I'm very impressed by the discipline of these racers so far. There wasn't as much carnage as I thought there would be. I tell you what, this Zarif is putting an awful lot of pressure, as is Jeremy Yeo in P8 at the moment. I mentioned Jeremy earlier on. He's going to need a podium finish, you suspect, right way through the rest of the season if he is to get somewhere near the top.
I especially love the fact that he has like the word sniff mirrored on his bumper, so whoever is like watching the mirrors in front are going to see them sniffing literally the rear end through this turns here. That's going to be Harry Wirawan right now in the yellow car just in front of him. So he's done a good job so far of keeping him headed off here. Goes into the banking, still 0.3 seconds in the lead. Shazli, in the meantime, I think is already catching up. He's already catching on the inside of Bardanik. Looks like they will be side by side, and yet again we'll be doing a rematch now, going to the bus stop chicane. But I think Shazli might just have enough speed.
Oh, he's tried to cut back inside. That's good. He's cut him off at the corner. That's real discipline. I wasn't used to that. Tries to take the shortcut through, but Shazli holds up Bardanik. That's a good little battle, and good work by the director to stay with this one. Flashing the lights to put a bit of pressure. Goes on the infront and slides off. Pushed it too much, so Bardanik just pushed it too much and loses 4 or 5 places as a result.
Yeah, I think it might have touched the apron just a little bit there, and we were discussing about this, where even though you could try to pass on the apron, it just unfortunately unsettles your car so much, makes it too easy for you to lose control. We are around in the meantime going for a heroic push, pushes Jeremy slightly off the track there, but gives him enough space to get him back on the track. Jeremy Yao still fighting to try to keep himself in 7th place. Rear One still alongside him as we go into the National Horseshoe. Well, I think Rear One might have the advantage here, given that he is on the inside. Indeed, he will take the position away from Jeremy Yao.
If you're watching visually, the liveries are a little bit confusing. The same colours and the same numbers, but that's one of the occupational hazards of the eRGP. But keep an eye on the graphics. We are on board with Harry Wirawan, as he's trying to put real pressure on as they go around the International Horseshoe, and another one. Harry Wirawan can't cope with it.
Yeah,
it's a tough course, this, I tell you. It really is.
Yeah, it's very American, I would describe this track as, because the multiple radiuses just makes an interesting challenge, a very technical style of driving you have to adopt coming onto a track like this, and navigating these bankings as well can be a completely different animal to the normal type of European circuits that most of these drivers no doubt will be used to. But we're on the back banking once more. We're going to be headed towards the bus stop. There's going to be a challenge here from Mohamed Farhan onto Harry Wirawan. He's already in a good position to try to outbrake him, but I think Harry Wirawan able to carry a lot more speed through the braking, and now I think Wei Shen Wong is looking to get an opportunity to move himself up one more spot.
We're just over a third of the way through the race. Up at the front, I can tell you, Gunawan and Setiawan are getting clear. Gunawan has got a 1 second lead.
Oh no, not like that.
Yeah.
He tried to use the apron. I mean, again, the game at the moment does not detect a track limit violation on that part, but given what Wei Shen Wong has just found out firsthand, I don't think a lot of drivers will be trying that kind of move anytime soon. It
is a false economy, isn't it? Yeah, keep it on the black stuff, boys. That's the main key to it. We're on board with Mohamed Farhan. He's in P9 at the moment. He got ahead of Wirawan. Wirawan, having had slid off, slides off once again. He's having real problems holding on to Daytona, Wirawan.
Yeah, and into the wall he goes. He's losing so many positions, being stuck there, now having to rejoin the track safely. This is his battle completely done and dusted now. Bardia Nick still on the recovery drive right now, has tried to challenge Rizkula Aldisia for his position. Didn't quite make it through though. I think he lost a little bit of control trying to exit that corner, and now it's dropped down to 11th.
Once again, we're focusing on the mid part of the groups here as we approach halfway. Everyone's having trouble holding on to that right-hand corner around the International Horseshoe. I think that's turn 3, maybe it's 5 here at Daytona. On board with Bardia Nick, who was involved for a battle for P4 earlier on. He's down in P12. Yeshan behind him, Surya behind him. The leaders still are Gunawan and Setiawan.
Yeah.
And Aiden Tan, they're 1 and 2 in the championship standings.
Yeah, I do believe it's still Gunawan in the lead, even though the timing tower here still shows Dominic Sia in the lead. But I don't think
Dominic Sia exists.
I don't think he will be qualifying for this race here, because I don't think he's running on the correct layout. So unfortunately, it's not him that is in the lead. It's Gunawan, the current championship leader, now leading by 1.3 seconds to Andre Setiawan.
Yes, yeah, there is the leader, Sebastian Gunawan. We're on board with Andre Setiawan here.
Yep.
1 and 2. What's the difference there? It's over a second, isn't it?
Yeah, I think in terms of lap time as well, like they're both kind of matching that pace. So I don't think there will be any opportunities for passing to happen between these two. It's going to be the long game now for both of these drivers here. While Aiden Tan, in the meantime, just sitting in a very comfortable 3rd place as well, 1 second ahead of Zarif Adam, who's just hanging behind him, having already dispatched Bardia Nick, and also have already dispatched Jeremy Yao. So far for the top 5, I think they should be looking at a pretty stable race from this point on. Meantime, things not so stable in the back here. I think Aldisia is looking for an opportunity, a 3-wide situation now. Coming into this turn, Bardia Nick shoots a little bit too wide. It is now going to be conceding 2 places there to the 2 battlers just in front of him, Redcliffe, and as well as Aldisia still trying to jostle for position. I think Bardia is now getting himself alongside the green car of Aldisia, tries to head him off in the next corner. I think might be able to catch him and prevent him from trying to make the pass in the next turn, as indeed he does. Aldisia going way too wide now, and that's opened him up to attack from Yeshan.
Yeah, that's too much. Everybody is struggling with turn number 5 there. So many are going in too hot, unable to handle it, and then they go back out onto the circuit in, well, they've invariably lost places. Aldicia actually kept P11, but he did go very, very wide. Who's he trailing? He's tailing Barda Nick, who we're seeing an awful lot. Redcliffe and Mohammed Farhan, Darmawan as well. Where are we? We're approaching the final 5.5 minutes of this contest. It is race round number 3 of 4 of the eRGP. And the GT4s are having a go. Yeah, that's what happens at Daytona. You get a little tumble.
Yeah, very naughty there.
That's the shortcut.
Ouch, and into the wall goes Redcliffe, and that's going to cost him dearly in this race. That contact in the back that Bardia Nick, that's only going to be looked over by the stewards later on for sure, because that happened right at the entry of the bus stop chicane. Certainly would have affected Redcliffe massively whilst breaking into that. So at the moment, Wei Shen Wong now going alongside Surya. This is a battle for 13th place. Not quite in the points, but at least for him, for Wei Shen Wong, a bit of pride is at stake here, I think, on his part.
Yeah, Wei Shen Wong still trying to get there. We P13, who's alongside there. He's alongside the other Gunawan and Surya. Wei Shen Wong loses a place. I tell you what, a lot of the guys are having a lot of problems holding on. They're going into these turns far too hot in the inside by the International Horseshoe. This is Bima Surya.
Yep. Oh, another naughty touch there onto Wei Shen Wong. He's managed to keep it together though. Stays in 13th place, but Surya is still trying to fight very hard to regain his 13th position.
Do like the GT4s and this copper class. It gets very physical out there. Up at the front, Gunawan is still leading the way. We're on board with Bima Surya. He's trying again. They go too hot on that turn 5. They're having real problems holding on to it. Then they go back out onto the circuit. And the number of times we've seen it and said it, you go in too hot into those corners, you immediately lose a little bit of ground. Another one, Bima goes wide.
No.
And Bima sways into the wall. No, he does well. Avoided the cones as well.
Yeah, just a nice save there by Surya, but unfortunately he still lost 3-4 places now as he drops in behind Bimo Arya. Another fellow Bimo there, interesting. But Adrian Ahmed managed to slip right through there. The youngster still fighting here.
Ahmed though is in 4th in the championship standings. A P14 here is not helping him at all.
Yeah, in the meantime, another battle forming in for 7th place now. Marma Farhan around the outside of Stevanos Dharma 1 here. Again, the banking being as it is, you can take the outside line and still carry a lot of speed, allowing you to stay side by side. Now they are coming into the main the main straight. Well, I say straight, it's actually more of a corner, isn't it, here in Daytona? But that is a start line, and they will be approaching that first turn. Marma Farhan goes for the dive, elbows out as he tries to snatch a position. Brakes are glowing red hot right now, but Stevanos still comes down alongside him on the exit. This battle will go on to the International Horseshoe as Farhan loses that place. He's going to have to try again.
Yeah, terrific work there. He has held on though, Farhan. He's held on to P8. It's Bardanik, I think, who's just behind him. No, Darmawan in front of him. So there's the battle. I did think Darmawan had been forced off the circuit, but it wasn't to be. We are 2.5 minutes away from the end of this sprint race. My word, the 15 minutes does fly past you as this is Farhan. Tries to look on the inside. Good line there from Darmawan. Now then, what kind of a line can he take coming back onto the full circuit?
A very crucial place this is, because you need to be able to maximize your exit in order to gain a lot of speed on the banking. Farhan struggling a little bit to keep the car on the straight and narrow though, so he lost a bit of time to Stevanos, and that's going to cost him an opportunity later on the bus stop chicane. Still is going to try anyway to close that gap. It's only about 0.4 seconds, so perhaps a good braking shot here might allow Farhan to close in on Stevanos. Just has to play his cards right. Right now, this is the only battle happening in the top 5 here. In the top 10. And at the moment, that's a big mistake there from Stevanos, and that allows Farhan to slip right through.
I like that from Farhan. He took the shortest line, as straight a line as he possibly could. We have got 1:30 to go. As well, look at Mohammed Farhan, this battle for P7. Gunawan, Setyawan and Aiden Tan are still clear up at the front. We will focus on them in just a while. But that was great work there. Yes, we are back onto Sebastian Gunawan. Ignore the Dominic Sear. Dominic Sear is a figment of our imagination. Sebastian Gunawan is going to take here win number 4 out of 5 if he can hold on for another 1 minute and 10 seconds.
And I think he probably should. I mean, he has not faced much pressure ever since he took the lead of this race here from Andre Setiawan, and has stayed in that 1 second gap all throughout. 57 seconds still remaining in this race here, so I think we'll be going on to a last lap finish with Sebastian Gunawan at the helm right now, being in the lead of the pack of racers in this copper class.
Yeah, Gunawan leads the way. Setiawan there. Aiden Tan in the Porsche, the red Porsche. That P3 is okay. It's 16 points, but it means he'll lose ground. This is Zareth Adam, who we had an awful lot, a long look at earlier on, and he is pushing on Aiden Tan.
Yeah, within a second actually, so slowly trying to close that gap as we enter the back end of the banking here on Daytona. So he has one last shot to try to make this work for himself at the bus stop chicane. So an ever important part of the circuit here, a very one where a slight mistake, as we've seen with Stevanis, can easily send you flying towards the wall. Sebastian Gunawan takes it nice and gingerly. So does Setiawan. Shazli at the moment not able to close that gap at all. The Jeremy Yao still 0.9 seconds, so he actually lost a bit of time getting to the bus stop chicane.
The leader is on the final lap. Sebastian Gunawan is looking very, very good for win number 4. Andre Setiawan just behind him. Hasn't been able to lay a glove on the championship leader. And Aiden Tan in P3. He's looking to hold on to P3 rather than gain a P2. It's been very impressive from Sebastian Gunawan. He got away really quickly at the start. He had a fabulous start, 3rd in qualification. But what he's done here, he's made it 4 wins out of 5. Oh, he's almost certainly made it 4 wins out of 5. Behind them, the Porsche, he is still under pressure.
Yeah, Andre Setiawan, I think, just made a mistake through turn 1, and that's now opened him up to attack from Aiden Tan, diving on the inside. He snatches the 2nd place away from Setiawan. Will he be able to fight back, though? Still a long way to go in this lap.
Yeah, Setiawan, that is a dreadful error from him, and Aiden Tan will thank him very much. Aiden was worried about Shazli behind him, but instead, Aiden Tan has got himself a bonus couple of points here if he can hold on. But what a mistake from Setiawan. Have been very, very neat and tidy. That's just a lapse of concentration.
Yeah, so that lapse of concentration happening on the final lap, not a good thing to have right now. So Setiawan's going to have to fight back hard here if he wants to regain his position. But Aiden Tan is already pulling way ahead, half a second now between these two drivers. So Aiden Tan is looking pretty strong now for a 2nd place finish.
He's looking very good, and that is a bonus for him. Gunawan leads the way. Shazli in P4. Yao has done well. He's got himself up into P5. He was down in P13 at one stage. Andre Setiawan, although it says 4th, he's actually 3rd because Dominic Sear does not exist. Trying to rectify that error as they come through the little chicane. But Andre Setiawan, he will be ruining that last error. And he squeezed through on the banking. Is there any space between the wall? Aiden Tan, though, has got a good line, good foot, good speed. Gunawan is going to take this victory.
Yeah, he is already cruising his way to the start-finish line, and actually already slowed down slightly. Aiden Tan will be able to go across the line and finds a checkered flag first ahead of Setiawan. So,
wow.
I think a bit of controversy here because Gunawan actually slowed down before the lap. Did he run out of fuel?
Has he run out of petrol? He's run out of fuel.
I think he's run out of fuel.
Oh, Sebastian Gunawan.
Oh no, what an upset happening here in the copper class as Aiden Tan takes the win of the race here after having dispatched Setiawan during the final lap. What a piece of drama here, Des.
Aiden Tan takes an absolute bonus victory. Dominic Sear, ignore that. Aiden Tan will pick up 25 points. Andre Setiawan will pick up the 20 he should have had. Shazli comes through in P3. And Gunawan, he crawled over the line. He cruised over the line, but without any fuel in the car, and has to be content with 13 points for P4.
Yeah, well, I think what's fortunate for him is that he's already won the first 2 rounds, so he probably would still have quite a decent gap in points there. So perhaps he may still be in the running for the championship lead here, but nevertheless, kind of embarrassing, you know, to run out of fuel towards the end. You think that these drivers would have calculated their fuel strategies perfectly to nail this, but
I can imagine him on the final lap going, go on, just hold on, one more turn, one more corner. But it wouldn't. He's run out of fuel and gone from a certain victory into P4. Right, reverse grid race.
everyone's going to get reversed around here. So it looks like it will be Bardi and Nick who starts alongside Neeraj Yeshan in the front row here. As for our race leader here, he's actually starting in 6th position.
In P3. It's only the top 10 that's reverse grid, that's right?
Yeah.
Dominic Sear still there. There's a little glitch.
Yeah, that's going to be investigated after the race. This race steward is also just kind of feeling a bit confused. Why was he able to set a 33-second lap during qualifying? That's certainly not a legal lap, I think. By our estimation, perhaps he decided to skip over the entire infield actually, because like that will be the only way we're going to be able to set a 30-second lap here on Daytona. Nevertheless, we're going to be starting our race number 2. Euros Nishan and Bardi Nick are now taking the top spot after the reverse grid. Red lights are on, ladies and gentlemen, and once we are off, we're off for race number 2 of the Copper class. Yeshan looking a little bit weak on that start there. He's already immediately pounced upon by Bardanik as well as Dharma 1. Now headed to that first turn, a 4-wide situation here as some of these cars trying to keep themselves balanced on the apron, trying to find the inside line. Bit of contact towards the back that Yeshan gets bumped into the pit lane. He's going to have to find a long way around there as Bardanik takes the lead.
Yeah, Yeshan had a nightmare right from the very start. We were 4 or 5 abreast going into turn number 1, which always has the capacity for mayhem. There is Neeraj Yeshan. He's actually recovered a lot better than I thought he would do. He's still slipping and sliding all over the place, but the main beneficiary is Bardanik. Stefanos Darmowan is on P2 at the moment. 3 similar liveries. Sebastian Gunawan is the main guy to benefit from that. Let's hope he's got enough fuel on this occasion, Sebastian Gunawan. But he's the man in P3 as we have the overlook. And Aiden Tan's got himself up into P4 in the red Porsche.
Yeah, in the meantime, in the back, I think Jeremy Yao is trying to challenge Neeraj Yeshan, who is now on a recovery drive, but maybe losing a place here if Jeremy Yao can sniff some a gap coming up ahead now as we enter the bank turn. Going towards the bus stop chicane. Several cars now trying to stay as close to each other as possible in order to try to make these passes here. I think Umar Farhan as well finding his way around the outside of VR1. It's going to try to cut him for 10th place. Ardian Shah as well getting himself in front actually in order to try to head up Muhammad Farhan here. Now braking hard going into the bus stop chicane. Going to be very careful riding those curves. Very easily can you find yourself losing control. Muhammad Farhan cuts across the grads actually to bring the challenge there to Gunawan, and Ardian Shah unfortunately has to tuck in behind.
Yeah, Gunawan was just forced off there. The old gold car didn't have the power to hold on. This is Jeremy Yao in P8 at the moment. Jeremy Yao, he's chasing Neeraj Yeshan, who, to be fair, Neeraj has recovered well after that dreadful start. I thought he was into the pit lane, but clearly he wasn't. Back up to the front, Sebastian Gunawan is challenging, or is being challenged by Darmowan, and Sebastian has got himself into P2. That is very good. He started off in P6. Yeah. Aiden Tan is also trying to make progress as well.
Yeah, and he does make that progress, finding the inside line on the international horseshoe, and will be able to pass Stefanos for that position. So he's now up into the podium places. Dharma 1 cannot count him out quite yet. He's still close enough in this infield section here to hopefully challenge Aiden Tan back for his position on the podium. But can't quite close the gap right now in the second hairpin though. He's going to have a long bit of work still remaining in this race. 12 minutes to go.
Bardia Nick is leading the way. Bardia has picked up points throughout this season, but he does look a little bit shaky now he's in the lead, because he's got some very, very good racers behind him. We're on board once again with Jeremy Yeo. Jeremy, 3rd place in the championship standings coming into today. He didn't fare so... No, actually, no, he got a podium in race number 1, didn't he? Was it 4th? 13 points. Maybe he got a podium. He picked up some useful points. Here he is in P8, where he was for much of the race, race number 1. But this reverse grid race has been a lot of fun unless your name is Nerosh Yeshan.
Yeah, well, he's going to try to catch Adrian Ahmed now, breaking perfectly through the bus-stop chicane, takes a position from the first chicane itself, losing a bit of control in the exit, though, might allow Adrian Ahmed to regain his position, and now a whole bunch of cars now prowling around Nerosh Yeshan here, keeping him boxed up, not giving him an opportunity now to bring the fight back to Adrian Ahmed.
You get out of shape on that chicane and you are in deep doo-doo. This is Andrei Setiawan meantime. He's the man who sneaked through into P2 in race number 1. Here he is in P6, challenging Dawaman. Gosh, I'm loving this. Almost 5 abreast coming in.
It's like pack racing all over again, you know. You think it's stock cars, but no, it's GT4 Porsches. As Nerosh Yeshan loses control, so does Adrian Ahmed. They collected Andrei Setiawan at the same time, forcing him into the wrong position. He rejoins unsafely, though, collects another car at the same time. What a series of unfortunate events here in the copper class.
Setiawan, he's taken a lot of damage there. Luckily, he's got away with it and he's still going, but he's dropped down from P5, challenging down to P16. Everybody going past him as well. Goes past him. Oh, my word. This is an eventful day for Setiawan. And Andrei Ahmed, another who suffered with that catastrophic little crash.
Yeah, all the way down to 14th place now, having a whole bunch of cars to contend with ahead. Meantime, for the top 10, Jeremy Yao, currently sitting in 7th place, was trying to chase Gunawan last time around. Now he's looking to try to go really high on the banking, try to maximize some speed here. I expect to try to close that gap. Gunawan, in the meantime, also looking very strong here. Now he's challenging for the lead here, Des.
Yeah, Sebastian Gunawan, he got very, very close on the banking there. Bardia Nick has been very, very neat and tidy, got to say that. I'm not expecting him to hold on. As you can see, he doesn't quite get in shape there. That puts him in real problems. Taking the grass is a shortcut, and then he heads towards the wall. But somehow, I said Bardia Nick had just been neat and tidy. I take that back.
Well, that's the curse of the camera, I suppose, here. But Gunawan not able to find his way past Bardia Nick in spite of that mistake done by our current race leader. So he may have another chance yet. 9 minutes still remaining in this race. Gunawan using every last bit of his talent here, and even flashing the lights there to remind Bardia Nick who is chasing him behind.
Yeah, Gunawan, remember, he ran out of fuel when leading in race number 1, crawled over the line in P4. Here he is in P2, and that again is Aiden Tan. These two fellas have been pretty good. Aiden Tan was the beneficiary. He took the win in race number 1, and Aiden Tan once again is in good position in race number 2 as Bardia Nick once again takes a rather novel line through this Daytona circuit.
Exactly. So, wow, an exciting three-way battle now for the lead, forming in the halfway point of race number 2. You can see Edatan already flashing Gunawan in front of him, announcing his intention to bring the fight straight to him here. So, despite the fact that these guys are on the podium places, they know that every single championship points counts, and especially with one more round left in the season here, they want to get every last bit of opportunity here to gain those points before we get to the final round of GE15.
I'm liking the work of Aiden Tan. He's just tracking Gunawan and Bardia Nick at the front. I think everyone is expecting that Nick will make a mistake at some stage. Aiden Tan, yeah, he's holding on very, very comfortably. He's got Darwan behind him, but he's more worried about what's going on in front of him. Not close enough as yet, as we look over the left-hand side to see the blimp. Not close enough to make a challenge, as this is now Sebastian Gunawan chasing the back of Bardia Nick. Bardia Nick that time was neat and tidy. See, he can drive neat and tidy, Victor.
Yes, you can. Well, you have to do it a little bit longer, though. 7 minutes still remaining in this race, and Gunawan's already all over the back of our Bardia Nick here. A pass might be on the cards as we get to the start-finish line here, as Gunawan now hooks around the outside. He will try to stay side by side with Bardia Nick as we get into the start-finish line here. Who's going to be able to come out in front, bumping him a little bit, forcing him to get onto the apron there is Sebastian Gunawan. Bardia Nick able to keep himself together. Gunawan now slightly ahead as we break into turn 1. Bardia Nick not letting this go without a fight, forces him almost wide and tries to stay on the inside, loses a bit of control, still stays alongside Gunawan here. This is fantastic racing here, Des.
Terrific. Bardonik did really well. It was his right to hold on to that line on the inside. Once again, Gunawan has a go. Bardonik on the left. Gunawan this time slides through. Aiden Tan is there. Can Gunawan hold on to it this time? We've got 6:35 to go. Yeah, Sebastian Gunawan is the inside line once again belongs to Bardonik, but Gunawan, wow, that was terrific dueling. And Aiden Tan is now right on the heels there of Bardonik once again. But Bardonik's not giving this one up, to be fair.
Yeah, he's still holding on for dear life. Unfortunately, the next corner is going to favor Gunawan a little bit, so he will be able to tuck in ahead before they enter the banking turn. Now, Bardonik needs to watch out for Aiden Tan, who is already closing in on the two of them as we see them enter the bank turn. Now, this time around, it's Bardonik is flashing his headlights almost in vain here, and Gunawan pulls way ahead now, 0.3 seconds.
That was very, very good racing by Sebastian Gunawan. He really pressured all the way. Aiden Tan, in the meantime, has just been watching. He had a little sniff of Bardonik to say, hey, let's see how you respond under pressure. Yeah, Bardonik again gets the bus stop absolutely wrong, but somehow that seems to be the quickest way. Take the grass through the bus stop is the best way to take it.
Yeah, no penalty, unfortunately, from this game system when it comes to cutting the track limits here, but the decision by the race director is just to let them race. We'll let them sort out the protests later on, and no doubt there'll be plenty of those, given what we've seen so far in the copper class. 5 minutes still remaining in the race. It's still an epic battle going on for the lead here. Gunawan currently holding that position.
Yeah, really is good at the front. We're on board there with Aiden Tan. Once again, he's had a view of what's gone on in front of him. Bardonik, I'm really impressed, but Bardonik is now under a lot of pressure from Aiden Tan behind him, but he's trying to put pressure on Gunawan. Remember Gunawan? 3 wins so far. Aiden looks on the inside. Aiden Tan then takes a little tap and does well to hold on. He could have spun out there, Aiden Tan.
Yeah, and if they do spin out, that's going to put Dharma 1 in play here. But Aiden Tan, good save there at the last moment, really putting the elbows out there, trying to snatch position from Bardonik. Unfortunately, is still able to stay within half a second of the man in front of him. Still 4 minutes remaining in this race. Gunawan has been able to pull away, while Bardonik and Aiden Tan have been busy battling just behind him.
Yeah, Aiden Tan, the easily distinguishable one in the red Porsche. Everyone else in the yellow and, what are we calling it, grey livery with the number 4. So Aiden Tan in P4. You're quite right to mention Darman. I'd kind of forgotten all about him, but he's not far off causing a problem or two. Stefanos Darman, this is his first race of the season, a welcome addition to the Copper class, and could well be going up at the end of this season.
Yeah. In the meantime, though, the championship leader continues to lead ahead by 1 whole second, so it looks like a repeat of his race 1 performance if he is able to finish in that position. Bardonik, in the meantime, now having a lot more trouble on hand here, as Aiden Tan been flashing him all throughout this lap here, just trying to keep the pressure, the mental pressure onto Bardonik all throughout. And you can just imagine it could be so easy to hit a downward spiral there, especially having been passed by Gunawan earlier on in this race.
Yeah, Sebastian Gunawan, in the meantime, once he's now got past Bardonik, it looks like he's this time, so long as he's putting enough fuel in, this time he's going to be okay. Let's look a little bit further down. Jeremy Yo in a good little battle there with Ardiansa Gunawan. Gunawan's a popular name today. We are on board with Jeremy Yo as he just eased in front of Harry Widowan. And Harry tries the switchback, doesn't quite come off. Love that helicopter view.
Yeah, I think that's Vera 1 actually that's in front of Jeremy Yao. So Jeremy lost out that position through those couple of corners. Now he's trying to fight it back. Bit of traffic in front of the two of them as I think Gunawan is right now holding off Vera 1 as we enter the infield section. That's actually pushing him back into Jeremy Yao's clutches now as he tries to chase him through the next corner. Jeremy Yao now in a good position to try to outbreak him, but Harry Vera 1 is able to hold him off, but only just goes a little bit wide. Now Jeremy Yao just pounces upon this opportunity here, needs to close the door before the next corner, doesn't quite close the door, comes together unfortunately and loses the position back to Vera 1.
Yeah, Vera 1 says you shall not pass, but then he's gone a little bit wide, Vera 1, and another little look inside from Jeremy Yao. He's on the bottom side of the banking and he's got through this time. Is that the answer ahead of them? Yeah, he's got through this time, Jeremy Yo.
Yeah, we are 1 now trying to fight it back. I think in front as well. Aiden Tan is caught up to Bardonik, so another repeat of that performance here going through the bus stop chicane. Bardenik again going a little bit wide, but I think a little bit cleaner this time around and still stays ahead of Aiden Tan. Now Jeremy Yao and Weir Wan enter the bus stop chicane, still looking pretty good. Still Jeremy Yao behind Weir Wan right now. We're entering the final 2 minutes of this race here, Des, and I think these battles are just going to get even hotter.
Certainly is. Gunawan looks to be very, very good at the front. This is a good battle. Weirawan's given us an awful lot of fun without an awful lot of points to show for it. Jeremy Yao's given us a lot of fun as well. Aiden Tan is on the back of Bardianik, who is my most entertaining driver today, but not probably because he spent more time on the grass than on the black stuff.
Yeah, I wonder that's now him paying for it towards the end of this race. I mean, you can certainly see a lot of dirt has been thrown up and dirty the side of these cars here, just showing how many excursions this man has made onto the grass here. Aiden Tan, though, will try to pass him on the track preferably, but still needs a little bit more speed actually in these laps in order to catch him. Still 0.4 seconds behind.
Sebastian Gunneman is way, way clear at the moment. He was just going out of shot there. We go back on board with this Jeremy Yeo, Henry Weirawan fisticuffs effort. Weirawan is trying to get on the back of Jeremy Yeo. This is Weirawan in the number 4. Again, well, one of the things with the copper class, you've got to be a little bit tighter, you've got a little bit smoother. That's what the gold and silver guys are. They're an awful lot tighter, awful lot more aware of the line that they need to take. But it's great fun to watch. Right, Aiden Tan, 10 seconds to go. Where are they on the lap? Ooh, he's in the final 3/4 of a lap, isn't he? Final half lap. He hasn't got a lot of time. He's got this bus stop chicane. This is the last opportunity for Aiden Tan. Bardianik. This time Bardianik is clean. He stays on the black stuff. And then he goes high. Takes the high road and then cuts down low on the banking. That's good from Bardianik. Good defensive driving. Aiden Tan hasn't got long now. And Bardianik is going to try and hold on. The win will go to Gunawan. Sebastian Gunawan this time has enough fuel. Let's confirm that.
Well, he is. Well, in the meantime, Aiden Tan, though, trying to cut through the apron here, snatches the position from Bardianik here, but can he hold it until the line? It's going to be a photo finish, it looks like. He does get himself a hit. Still on the last lap, though. The countdown timer had ended earlier, but we still are having one more lap of racing. So now that Aiden Tan is cut in front of Bardianik, can he stay here over the next few quarters, Des?
That must have been very, very close to the finish as the 0 counted down. So we are on the last lap now. Sebastian Gunawan is leading Aiden Tan. Well done to him. I think he thought it was the last lap as well. So that's why he made a move, and poor old Bardianik, for all of his fun, he's down in P3. Jeremy Yeo and Henry Weirawan. Yeah, best of friends, these two.
Been making friends a lot in the last 15 minutes for sure. I think this time around, Weirawan has already cut Jeremy Yeo in the dying moments of the last lap there. And now it's Jeremy Yeo trying to get his position back here. We're already seeing checkered flags for some of the runners behind here. While in the meantime, the top 10 are still continuing to jostle away here. Particularly Jeremy Yeo trying to get himself up onto the 8th step. Still trying to fight his way through from Henry Weirawan there. And getting absolutely close. Might be another photo finish for these two, I think.
Certainly would be a bad day at the office for Andre Amit, 4th in the championship standing. He's not going to pick up any points here. We are on board here. We're on the final lap. Jeremy Yeo and Henry Weirawan, they have been together, holding hands right the way through, and they're closing up on Gunawan in front of them. Andreas Gunawan. They might have a little look. Gunawan was pushed off the line. Love that bus stop chicane.
Yeah. Two of them still going through a single file line. It's still Weirawan who comes out on top. Sebastian Gunawan is now through the final corner. Now this time it will be checkered flags here for our championship leader as he comes across the line to take the win here in round number 3, race 2. Gunawan in first place. Aiden Tan, a brilliant battle with him together with Bardianik allowed Aiden Tan now to stay in the 2nd spot, so he finished in 2nd ahead of Bardianik. Dharma 1 and Mohamed Farhan as well come through. Gunawan and Weirawan and Jeremy Yeo now finishes in 7th, 8th, and 9th position respectively. Mulyono will be coming through the line now to take the 10th spot.
So Gunawan had enough fuel. Mulyono comes through in P10. They're the 10-point scorers. There is your race winner. A P4 in race 1, a fun P4, a 3rd in qualification and race 2 winner. And we'll see if he's fastest lap as well. Aidan Tan, good day at the office for Aidan Tan. A win, followed by a P2 today. So he will pick up points. Just digs a little bit into Sebastian Gunnawan's. Those two are the real contenders going into the final race of the season.
Yeah, that's a brilliant end to our Copper Class Racing. What a race it was, actually.
We'll try and get some interviews afterwards. I'd love to talk to Gunnawan to find out what happened in race number 1. Was it fuel, or did he just get the timing wrong? I'm assuming it was fuel, but we'll find out when we come back after a quick break. You're watching the eRGP round 3 of 4 of season number 15. Victor and I'll be back in just a couple of minutes' time.
Pewter is about possibilities. It is an idea made real. Crafted with precision. It can make tradition timeless. Pewter evolves. When allowed to be free, it can captivate you. Pewter is our legacy, and we're keeping the legacy alive. Royal Selangor, since 1885.
A very warm welcome back to eRGP, eRacing Grand Prix. Season 15, we are just starting the second half of Season 15, round number 3 out of 4. We've just seen the first of the races, which was a really fascinating copper class around a fascinating track at Daytona International Speedway. First things first, Sebastian Gunnawan, the championship leader. We haven't had a chance to really work out whether or not he ran out of fuel or he just made a bad error of judgment. We're pretty sure he ran out of fuel.
I think running out of fuel is more likely. It's the only reason why he was slowed down early before he gets onto onto the checkered flag there. So certainly an embarrassing one, because he unfortunately put him down in 5th place, but managed to make a good recovery in race number 2 though, and was able to get the win that time around. So I think that more than makes up for that, and given his lead in the championship here, I think he shouldn't feel too threatened about his position right now.
But Aiden Tan did take advantage. Aiden got himself a P1. There's more points available for the sprint race, so although Gunawan came back and picked up the maximum 15 points, I'm not sure whether they had fastest lap as well, but he picked up points in the second race, but Aiden Tan will have just kicked into that lead. So that championship is still wide open going into the last round of the season.
And on the note on Aiden Tan, what a brilliant battle he had with Bard and Nick throughout the races now. Like, both of them jostling so much for position. It was hard to tell who was going to be one ending up in front, and especially with Bard and Nick showing that he had a little bit of trouble getting through the bus stop chicane, having to take to the grass quite a few times. Still was able to stay within touching distance of Aiden Tan throughout, but a final, like a penultimate lap pass there by Aiden Tan was what really secured him that run. And what a brilliant run that was.
Certainly was. One of the features of this Daytona circuit, the start. It's a standing start. You go then into corner number 1. We saw Yeshan in race number 2, the reverse grid race. He had a bad start and he was caught up, and suddenly we were 5 abreast going into a sharp left-hand corner. It caused all problems. Yeshan went from P1 to P7. Recovered, did okay. I've got a top 10 finish. But if you get a bad start on a standing start, you're in deep trouble.
Yeah, especially with the 15-minute like sessions here, it's not a lot of time for you to recover. If you already dropped several positions behind, with everyone already like running on hot laps here. So good recovery there from Nearest Yeshan. To be fair, still a lot of tangles, as we could see from the copper class itself. Wonder if that's going to be the same story coming into our next class here, the bronze class. We're talking about slightly more powerful cars. These are, of course, GT3 cars, an upgrade from the GT4s we run just now. So they have a higher top speed, a lot more downforce, a lot more grip on this track here. Certainly going to be very useful for our bronze class drivers.
Yeah, can we actually go and have a look at the championship standings, and then we'll join maybe a little bit of practice. But the championship standings of the bronze class, the man who is really leading the way far and away, Fawzal Alim. He is just about perfect. He didn't score a point in the reverse grid race in either so far, actually. So he's perfect on the opening race, on the sprint race, not so good on the reverse grid race. But that's a big lead he's got over Shakir Fitri and the rest.
Yeah, and particularly one of these drivers, Adam Harif, in the top 3, he missed out the first round. So hence he's been trying to recover, I believe, in the second race itself, was able to get himself up into the third step of the standings after his performance here. So I'm going to be looking forward to see what else he's going to be able to bring when we come into our bronze class race in round 3. For the rest, though, I mean, Iman Ryan from Brunei has also been an outstanding performer here. Hadn't really been able to perform in the last 2 rounds, but I'm certainly hopeful he'll be able to bring us a good finish this time around.
Yeah, a lot of Malaysian competitors there. Good to see the Filipinos. I like when the Filipinos come in. James Malobi, he's in P10 at the moment. Is he out on the circuit? Yep, he's out on the circuit at the moment. They're in practice at the moment. Let's just go and join the last 90 seconds or so of practice. We can maybe pick up 1 or 2 of the key races and see how they're handling this Daytona circuit. They only learned about the circuit, when was it? A couple of days ago that they got the news that there'd be Daytona?
In the eRGP, we basically select the track on the Monday of the week that we are going to be racing in. So that allows these drivers the same amount of time to prepare coming into these races here, right? And it prevents them from getting any early advantages by having their own practice at home coming into these races here. So that just adds a little bit of like uncertainty, I think, that it's going to be key for a class as competitive as in this bronze class. So we still have several drivers out on track here. Ian Wong is also another to watch out for here, hailing all the way from Hong Kong, has been a part of this eRGP through multiple seasons now, and we're already now in our 15th season here. And Ian Wong, through all of that, has actually been showing us a great amount of entertainment throughout all the seasons.
Good man with the X-Park as well. So supporting our sponsors. Good lad. So Ian Wong, yeah, I like him. He's 7th in the championship standings. Got a P4 in race number 1 in the sprint race at Silverstone. Didn't do too bad. Got a P6. What, 6 points? Yeah, P6 in the reverse grid race. So did well on weekend number 1. Not so good at Sebring. He'd like her to do pretty well here in this second race. They're still on practice. The practice is about to finish now. And we will go into qualification very, very shortly.
Yeah, and judging from the practice times, you can see clearly the performance difference between the GT4 and the GT3 class. GT4s we're seeing doing what, 154s, 155s per lap. These ones, they do 10 seconds faster on the track here. Exactly the same track, just a different set of cars. And off note here, a lot of these guys in the top 10 still running on these AMG GT3s, which has kind of become a bit of a meta car, I think, in the bronze class. We saw a lot of people in the second round at Sebring also using the AMGs as well. So certainly a lot of these drivers, they just really like this car for some reason.
Are we seeing, is Faisal Alim out there?
Faisal Alim.
I can't see him. Where is he? I can't see him in the 24. So our championship leader.
Yeah, it might not be in
might
our
not
list
be there.
here. So
that gives an opportunity to Shakir Fitri. If Shakir is there. Okay, you can drop around, of course. Maybe this is the one, which is always fun. So Rifki Afiat and Adam Harith as well. Is Adam there? Adam had a good... we only find out, really. We're aware. It's great to see somebody like Chris Chu coming back. Welcome back, Chris.
Welcome back, Chris, indeed. Hailing from Singapore. One of the older drivers, I believe, on
don't be ageist, dude. Don't be ageist.
Well, he's still a lovely guy. Like, had a really fun time doing go-karting together with him back in Singapore at the KF1 track. And it's great to see him back here out in the virtual world going into this competition here. So now we're in, I believe, qualifying sessions. We should be in the qualifying. I'm seeing these cars just running out on the track right now, but we haven't seen the session actually officially switch over. We're still technically on overtime here in this practice session, so I think these guys just going to get their last bit of warm-ups here before we actually get started with qualifying.
Indeed. Okay, qualification. Looks like it's coming up. The P is still there.
I think it's still a bit of countdown here before we get started in here, onto this qualifying session. So just give themselves plenty of time to get their race strategies sorted out before this. You don't want to repeat a situation with Gunu 1, as we saw from the Copper class, where you run out of fuel at the end of the race. You have to calculate things out perfectly here.
Other names we should look out for today. I mean, we've mentioned Aim Wong. He is there. Who's Adam Harris? Is Adam out there? Adam missed race number 1. He did well in race number 2. No Adam.
No Adam in the list right now. I do see Iman Ryan. He is inside on the server here together with Luisia, Ng Yong Jen, as well as Alonso Marquez Lacambra.
Rahul Dev is doing well, and Luisia, yeah, you mentioned. So those, okay, there's opportunities now for those up at the top. Okay, we are now under qualification, where the drivers will go out. They'll have an out lap to remind themselves there's a lot of grass on this circuit, and there's a lot of fencing coming. There's a lot of wall that you can hit. And this is Rahul Dev.
Rahul Dev leading the cars as they exit the pit lane. He wants to come out to a nice clear track in front of him, or maybe he wants to stay ahead of Ian Wong in this race here. The BMW, certainly a really fast car in real life, also a very handy car to have here in this competition. The BCRC GT3 cars, of course, having already a balance of power applied to these cars here. They all effectively run on the same power plant. They just have minor variations in the setup of the cars. It is still a fixed setup race though, so all the drivers will still have to contend with whatever platform they decided to enter for this competition. But those differences are very, very minor, to the point where a slight variation in driving style could determine quite literally how fast you are in this circuit.
But it is nice to see the variation of liveries as well, liveries and cars. There's Ian Wong. We've kept a close eye on him. Pacquiao Racing Team. Third in qualification in Silverstone. Not so good. Who's been fastest? Fazal Alim's fastest both times, and Fazal, the missed absentee. There's Mohammed Sikko Fitri. For him, Mad Manchis.
Wow, what a name! I think I know who this is here. He goes online by the moniker of Kotak Manchis. Literally means matchbox. So maybe perhaps a fan of the matchbox racing cars. Sporting a very nice black and pink livery here, courtesy of Santai Malaysia. We got also Azib Shami Mokhtar out on track right now as they are completing their flying laps here. We also have Ng Yong Jen just sporting the BWT pink livery. Certainly an outstanding looking car, especially out on track. Now having a bunch of cars just around him, not exactly the best position to be in qualifying.
Yeah, you want a little bit of open circuit, don't you, just to try and hit the corners at the right time. It's a little bit crowded up there, far too much. It's going to be... You do like to pick up points for qualification. You like to put yourself in a decent position. Rahul Dev has set the fastest time at the moment, 1:57.94.
Yeah, but given that is a outlap here, it's not going to be representative of the actual flying pace that these cars are capable of. So we have one lap yet to see out of Rahul Dev to whether or not he'll be able to set a really good time that's going to be good enough to put him up in the top 10. And for that top 10 spot, he's certainly going to have a lot of challengers in that regard. We saw from the practice sessions just now that a lot of other AMG drivers were certainly much faster than him during that practice session. So he has a lot of work cut out for him in this qualifying session. 2 minutes and 55 still remaining, Des.
Azib Shami Mokhtar. They're on the flying laps now. Lovely growl of the GT3s. There they go through the bus stop chicane. That's neat and tidy. You can lose so much ground there. Although we saw in the GT4s earlier on, the grass can be a shortcut and doesn't cost you too much time. There will be penalties to take into account, of course. Azib and Ung go through. Alonso Lacambra.
Yeah. Very strong names out here in this Global Edition 15. Lacambra has been through quite a bit of those, to be fair. Adam Daniel sporting a very nice teal livery, almost reminiscent of a Petronas livery.
Indeed,
yeah.
Indeed.
So,
nice Malaysian angle from you there. We'll talk something Indonesia. We'll talk Petronas in a moment.
So at the moment, it is still Rahul Dev who's able to set the fastest time right now of 1:45.5, enough to put him in first place ahead of Adam Daniel, who we were just watching just now on board. Only 0.2 seconds slower than Rahul Dev's time. Raja Amiro Shaukat, another outstanding performer from Malaysia, has managed to put himself up into P3, the only BMW in the top 4 right now.
I'm expecting Shakir to put in a quick time in qualification. He was very fast last time out. This is Amrul Shukat.
Lacambra as well, getting himself up into the top 4 positions, just shy of breaking into the 145s there. But he is able to stay ahead of the Mustang runner of Judiel Nino Gonzalez also from the Philippines here, looking to try to make a name for himself in this top 10. Look at him just balancing right on that double line there to try to take as short a line as possible through this banking. I'm still not too sure whether that's the correct way to take bank corners. To be fair, I know that sometimes taking the outside may be more optimal, given that you're capable of carrying much better average speeds. But you know, these drivers are free to go ahead and try different strategies. Ooh.
Gonzalez escaped, but the man behind him I don't think did.
Yeah, I think he's completely taken off of his run there. Kind of fortunate for that to happen towards the end of qualifying here, Des.
Yeah, this is good work for Gonzalez. Where is Gonzalez? He's 8th at the moment, a 1:46.3. Iman Ryan, he's the new fastest man, a 1:45.215. He is, that's quick. That is a full 3/10 quicker than Rahul Dev.
And doing it on American muscle as well. What a brilliant way to take the pole position. So he's 3/10 faster than Rahul Dev. Ng Yong Jen also says a 1:45.5. That's enough to put him in the 3rd spot, just behind Rahul Dev, but only by 10 milliseconds or less. Ian Wong right now finds himself relegated down to 4th place, but certainly might have another opportunity here if he can just get this flying lap correct. Now, checkered flag is already coming out as the qualifying session now comes to a close. So some last-minute runs here, particularly for Ian Wong. Let's see if he is going to be able to improve over Eun Young Jen, who has already finished his run here. Already seen the checkered flag. No chance for him to improve anymore in this qualifying session.
So Ryan is still holding on to pole position. He has finished. He didn't improve his time on his next lap. Rahul Dev, is he still out on the circuit?
Yep.
I think he is.
There
Rahul
he
is indeed out on the circuit through 6th gear. He'll have to go some to improve, and Ian Wong is out there as well. Ian Wong currently in P4.
Yeah, I believe they're both literally following each other. That's Rahul Dev in the white and purple car in front. Eun Young Jen inside the pits.
Oh, Ian. No, that's,
Yep.
that's car park.
That's yep. That's gonna be it for Ian Wong now. Adam Daniel is still continuing through, having got through the bus chicane, but no, decides to slow down, decides to call it quits. Doesn't feel like he could improve on that performance anymore.
Rahul, though, does think he can improve on it. He was P1 for quite some time. Is this him coming through to the... Ooh, there's cars all over the place. Yeah. Let's park. Let's avoid any more hassle.
And a bit of upset here. Lacambra in the dying moments of this qualifying sets a time good enough. He gets himself struck out just now by a fast-moving car. Well, maybe a preview of the chaos that might occur later on in the bronze class, also in this bronze class, but certainly a funny one to catch on stream nevertheless. So that should mark the end of qualifying for most of our top 10 runners here. I believe everyone else who is still out on track here are just fighting for the last few positions in the midfield of that. Once everyone has gotten through, then we'll be able to get ourselves started with race number 1.
So Ryan fastest. Lacambra did come through quickly. So Lacambra has got himself very, very late on the front row of the grid. 1:45.4, a tenth quicker than Rahul Dev. Jan in P4, Anwar and Ian Wong on the third row of the grid. Adam Daniel and Malobe from Philippines on the fourth row. Shokat and Rubio on the fifth row. Gonzalez and Afik on sixth. Mad Manchis on the seventh row. We'll keep an eye out for him, if only for the name.
I do believe that Adam Harif might have moved up into the silver class here. I mean,
yes, we saw him before, didn't we?
yeah,
Yes.
we did see him in the standings for that. So I believe that the race has decided. I mean, we've decided here to move it up one place, given he is already an outstanding performer already in the bronze class. I believe he joined in from last season, GE14, and was already an outstanding performer inside the bronze class. So certainly has earned his place, an upgraded seat, as it were, going into the silver class. A lot more competitive, I would say. Even though the car is a lot faster and a lot more technical to handle here. So, all the drivers now getting themselves lined up on the grid. You can see Iman Ryan in the Mustang, the Ford Mustang, leading in front of the European cars. What a way to kick off this race here at Daytona, Des.
Okay, Ryan on pole, Lacambra in the pink alongside him. There is the map of the circuit, top right. And that first corner is a real problem. Rahul Dev in P3. Alongside him is Jam, also in the pink. And then 5. This is a guy who's second in the championship standings at the moment. Mohammed Anwar. And alongside Mohammed Anwar, you've got Ian Wong in the blue. We are just waiting. We're 15 seconds. Adam Daniel in P7 on the fourth row. And alongside Adam Daniel, Jimmy Malubai. Rajesh Shokat on P9, fifth row. As the countdown reaches 0, and we are underway. It's a slow start on the right. It's a great start from Anwar. No. Ian Wong gets taken out, Billy, big time. Ian Wong is on the track, but the man who is leading at the moment is Rahul Dev. He came from the second row of the grid, got a terrific start while there was mayhem around him, and Rahul has done really well there.
Yeah, I think there was a chain reaction caused by Lacambra having a slow start, and that unfortunately put Ian Wong in a collision course, and he collided into the back of that Mercedes, and unfortunately found himself facing the wrong way at the start of the race. Not a good way to start things off here. Anwar, in the meantime, now trying to get a run up onto Ryan, who himself had a bit of a bad start too, allowing Raul Dev to cut him early on into the first turn. Now it's now he has to fight off Anwar here, going to stay in that second position, but Anwar might have more trouble as Lacambra now looking to try to recover himself into second place, finds a way on the inside of the second hairpin. Now it's getting into the bank turn now. He has to try to hold him off, but Anwar still is able to slip in onto the inside, stays in P3, but both of them will still be side by side on the banking.
Yeah, that's good to Mohamed Anwar, but you're quite right, Lacambra, who I thought had caused all the problems. He's done well to remain in P4. He is there, and Jan is in P5 behind them. Malobe has made a good start as well, but this is Anwar, second in the championship standings, the Malaysian. Ooh, but he's under pressure. Tell you what, this is NASCAR stuff there. That is a real tow for him as they come into the bus stop chicane for the very first time. This is the real joy of e-racing, and that can be so physical without the consequences of the real races.
Indeed. I mean, going through the bus of chicane, especially at speed like that, it's kind of like threading a needle at 200 kilometers per hour. Very difficult thing to do in real life, and also in the sim. Lacambra now getting himself alongside Anwar as he tries to find him into the main straight here. The start-finish line coming up ahead. We're already past now, trying to bring this fight to the first turn, but Anwar is able to outbrake his rival going into that turn, so he stays in P3.
I like that from Anwar. He just kept his line. It was his to hold on to. Lacambra is trying everything behind him, putting real pressure on him once again. Anwar is looking forward. Lacambra spins him. A police car maneuver, and then Anwar is sent spinning.
Ay, what a bad way for that race to turn out there. I mean, at one point was on a podium, now he's facing the wrong way on the track. Literally, tires facing the sky here. Oh, it's going to be a reset to pit here for sure for him, and that's going to put him way out of the top 15 maybe.
And that is harsh on him. Lacambra, I'm sure the stewards will look at that because Lacambra has spun him round. There is contact. Perfect police maneuver. I wonder if he is an officer of the law.
Pit maneuver, yeah. Well, unfortunately, we'll have to put that on the back burner now. It's a bit of chaos forming just outside of the top 10. Look at that, 3 wide, 2 wide situations going on the banking. One person trying to run on the apron right now alongside. Very risky thing to do here, even in these Mustangs. I think Gonzalez might be losing control. I think he might have lost control, gone onto the grass completely here. Well, Fiki Afiat is now trying to chase the rest of these runners into the bus stop chicane. Has to brake really hard, tries to find a gap here alongside. A bit of lag going on in this server, putting a bit of chaos right now in our screens. Hopefully we'll be able to get the view back here, but I think Ricky Afiat ends up into the wall and loses out his position.
Yeah, I didn't think it was lag. I thought he really did go off. Everything else was lag. This is Amral Afik in P9, and my favorite Filipino, Jimmy Malobe, has got himself up into P4 and is battling with Lacambra, who's lost the place to Ryan. Yeah. So Malobe, well done, that fella. Looking very neat and tidy.
Yeah, needs to keep it nice and tidier if he wants to make it up to the third spot here. So, and both of them running on the AMGs are certainly using similar machinery right now in order to try to get themselves into the position. Ooh, I think we may have a situation here on the server because...
I do think we've got a situation on the server because Dev and Ryan are 1 and 2 and they're suddenly down 4 and 5. And,
yeah.
Yes. Do we need to reset?
I do believe we have to do a reset here, ladies and gentlemen. We are not seeing the server at the moment. We can just cut back to our face cam right now as we try to sort this out.
Okay. Well, that's a shame because that was shaping up to be a crackling contest. The qualification was interesting. There was a late man onto the first row, and then that turned into turn number 1 at Daytona. Again, caused an awful lot of mayhem.
Indeed, where I believe the race should still be running, but
we're not seeing it.
Yeah, we're not seeing it at the moment on our screens here. A slight disconnection on the server, and I think we have confirmation, yeah, that the server is down. So looks like we may have to restart this race here, Des.
Sorry, guys. It's the occupational hazards of sim racing.
Yeah, so we'll help you guys get back up to speed soon. I think I'm seeing some...
Well, the race has got 9:25 to go. We're back on here.
Yeah.
We're back on with Rahul Dev. So I think that the server might be on and that we were talking through our backsides.
Well, maybe, but I'm not seeing everyone on the track here. To
20.
be fair, some drivers are only rejoining from the pit, so I believe the server has just restarted here. Yeah, so yeah, we'll have to wait for a decision here to see whether or not we'll restart this race completely. I think we were still in the first 5 minutes, I believe.
We were in the first 5 minutes, so
Yeah.
we might have a restart. Ian Wong goes in. Ian Wong will be happy.
Yeah.
What did he pull a plug or something, Ian?
Well.
Such a dreadful start. I'm going to start all over again. No, he says, not me. I wouldn't do that.
Well, in any case, yeah, unfortunately, it looks like we have to restart because everyone had disconnected from the server. It looks like we're able to get ourselves back in the session, but with the running order kind of like mixed up because of the reconnections, I do believe we have to, in the interest of this competition, to get this race restarted from the top here.
Okay, all 24 are back in the server. That's good news. We haven't lost anybody. Bad news is that we're going to have to restart. Qualification stands.
Yeah, I do believe, as you mentioned, I think Ian Wong will be the happiest of the bunch here, given that he got taken out from the start. But I think slight disappointment for everyone else who have been running for the first 5 minutes. But then again,
And I think they're still running. I think some of the guys think that this race is live. They're not seeing what we're seeing. The Canberra will be happy because he was going backwards as well. Oh well, sorry team. As you're
I'm not admin on server.
As you're watching us, we are doing our best to work it out.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll be taking a short break while we sort things out, but hopefully we'll be back here yet again with the first race of the bronze class. Stick around, we'll be back after this break. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we're able to get our race back underway once more. Unfortunate disconnection has disrupted things, but now we are back into the races here. Imran Ryan, of course, still being in lead. It's going to be a repeat of the start here, so Ian Wong this time is able to stay out of trouble, hopefully.
Rahul Dev has made another great start again on the inside. Identical from him. Ian Wong's done well behind them. Real problem for Showkat. Oh, look at that. People going completely off the line. Rahul Dev made such a strong start last time. He's done the same again here. And he's taken Jan with him. And Mohammed Anwar, who'd done so well before he was flipped over. He'll be happy with this restart. But it's Jan and Wong. Ignore Faris and Noviar at the moment. They will drop off the top of the leaderboard. Your race leader is Rahul Dev.
Yeah, Rahul Dev currently still in front. I believe Imran Ryan lost out many positions to start. He's currently staying in 6th position, way behind both Lacambra as well as Ian Wong. Ian Wong this time around didn't get taken out at the start, so I think he should be in for a good run this time around inside of the top 10.
A good conspiracy theory. He pulled the plug on the previous. Jeff Tan down in P10. He's alongside Amrul Afik. He's got Jie Xiang Lu in the identical livery as well. That could be nice. Nice smooth line. One goes high, one goes low. Good debate on there. Which is the best way to take the corners at Daytona? Do you go high and get the momentum even though it's a long way round? Or do you go low and take the shorter path?
Well, it seems like that inside has taken Jeff Tan, by taking the inside, is able to get up in front of his MSR teammate there, but he will still have to keep the fight going until the bus stop chicane. And unfortunately, Liu has lost out in that instance there, now putting him in the clutches of Amir Afik now, who's running up behind.
Yep, Amrul Afik. This is only his 2nd race of the season. He was mid-table last time. Lacambra, right there, and he was on the front row of the grid, wasn't he? He's losing out there. He's in a battle there with Ian Wong. That's worth seeing. Ian Wong has taken the nice early line. Ryan, who was on the front row of the grid, he's dropped down to P6. Iman Ryan still in the race. He goes on the outside as they come towards the International Horseshoe.
Yep. Still looking like the server has a bit of issues here as cars are just going way wild on the track. Oh, and another disconnection here, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, this is a problem. This is a bit of a problem right now. We tried to get a restart done here, but it seems like everyone has disconnected from the server one more time. So I believe... Oh wait, I think we're coming back in once more, or are we?
Liam Wong is down to 7. Faros and Lim and Villatuna, the top 4 are names that we don't know what's PDDD. They're disconnected.
Yeah, I think I still see Rahul Dev, at least on the track map, he's still leading the pack here. So I believe those names in front there can be disregarded.
And Jan and Wong were there, and Lacambra and Rayan. Yep.
Yep.
So those front 5 are there.
Still running on the apron there is I think that's Lacambra now trying to get himself alongside Ian Wong coming out this corner. I mean, then again, these cars have a lot of downforce, so they can certainly try as they might through the apron there to try to make up some positions. Still seeing a little bit of lag on the server there. Ian Wong is going completely wide there, unfortunately, as Lacambra now comes through and gets himself up in front. Ian Ryan is now trying to go up on the outside of the banking. They both touch a little bit going on the bank, as now the server has unfortunately lost track of them on this race here. But I believe they're still racing inside of the sim right now. And Lacambra and as well as Imran Ryan still alongside each other as they try to get themselves into the start line.
Ooh, sorry about this, ladies and gents. Real sorry. Rahul Dev, right, DDD right the way down the line.
Yeah, I think we may have to do another hard reset here in order to get this race back into a much more proper form right now. The server has unfortunately gone down once again here on our screen, so unfortunately we're gonna have to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, while we get this all sorted out here. So apologies, we should be right back with racing very soon.
Are we back on live there? Are we back on live? The countdown is still on. The clock is on.
Still on. I'm seeing some drivers disconnect.
Ah, yes, there's too many disconnected. There's a couple. There's 4 in the pits. So once again, patience required, not only from these guys, but from the gold and silver guys later on. Will be delayed a little bit behind schedule.
Rahul Dev was still in the lead earlier, and we were seeing Imran Ryan and Lacambra fighting early on. Now Lacambra has already secured a 2nd position, 1 second ahead of Imran Ryan now, so that could be correct. Leung Yong Jen getting passed right now by Amir Afik as they enter the bus stop chicane, so that's a position change for Amir Afik up into P5 now. Young Jen trying to chase up here. I mean, again, I did see some drivers disconnect from the server here, so I wonder, I think I saw Raja Amirul Shaukat leave the server there, so I wonder if he was in the running in the top 10 until that point. Meanwhile, though, Young Jen is going to try to get his position back from Amirul Afik in spite of all the chaos that's happening on the server here. These two seems to still have a good time, though.
They certainly do. Young Jan, he's chasing Amirul Afik as somebody, Iman Ryan,
No.
comes in from left field, literally.
Yeah, I think he spun out in the first turn and just only recovered. He's back in the 6th place, which was where were at before we restarted the session.
That was an interesting reintroduction. I want to be part of the show. In the meantime, okay, so statistically, officially, with 9 minutes to race, hopefully the server will calm down. Behind us, P13 there, that's Amores, alongside Perez in 14. Miguel Perez, JC Amores, great names. 117 Perez in the Ferrari. They look beautiful, don't they? The Ferraris, they sound even better. But they're not racing up the front here. Chris Chu in P9, glad to see. One for the old boys.
Certainly one of the more experienced drivers in his lineup here. I mean, he's been quite successful in his go-karting career and has also made the jump into sim racing at the same time, and has certainly showed some performances here. We're still experiencing problems with the server, so apologies if things are looking a little bit chaotic on the track right now. I do believe these drivers are still running in their respective positions here, particularly the top 5 seems to be correct at the moment. Although I do see Iman Ryan having to take into the pits now. He's already dropped out completely from this race. May have disconnected. In fact, Risky Ramadan, unfortunately, finds himself in the wrong side of the track here. It went headfirst into the wall. Now tries to rejoin the race, but will do so in 13th place.
Yeah, server problems galore. Ryan is in the pits. He's clearly had problems. That's not good for Iman Ryan because he was in 4th place in the championship standings. Yes, you can drop one round, but this was his opportunity to maybe pick up some big points. Risky Ramadan in P13. We are still holding on because despite all the problems that we seem to be having at our end, the drivers themselves, Ryan and Shukat apart, seem to be out on the circuit.
I've been watching the list of drivers here. I think we've reached like half of the drivers disconnected from the server, so we may have to run into another restart of this race. This time around, I think we're going to shorten the race distance here from 15 minutes to 10 in the interest of keeping ourselves on the schedule here, but certainly another disruption, unfortunately, has hit upon us in this bronze class race, Des.
Indeed. Never mind. Well, we can say never mind. I'm sure those who are racing at the front, Rahul Dev and Lacambra in particular, will be a little bit upset, but if the server goes down, that is, at this stage, out of our control. Rahul Dev continues on. We're still waiting for the decision. Gonna have to make it soon, but yes, you can see, or we can see on our screen, there's problems. Rahul Dev spins out. Everybody is now down. We've got DNFs all over the place.
Yeah.
And with only 6 minutes to go, guys need to make a call very, very quickly.
Yeah, I do believe we're going to be going for a race restart here. We're going to be taking a short break while we get all of that sorted out. So apologies for our viewers here. We will have to continue our bronze class racing later on, but stick around. We'll be right back after this break.
Pewter is about possibilities. It is an idea made real. Crafted with precision. It can make tradition timeless. Pewter evolves. When allowed to be free, it can captivate you. Pewter is our legacy, and we're keeping the legacy alive. Royal Selangor, since 1885.
Welcome back. Okay, right, we have worked very hard on the servers, tried to whip them into shape, and there's a new schedule for you for the bronze class. We are going to have a 3-minute qualification, which we are in at the moment, followed by 2 10-minute races, a 10-minute sprint and a 10-minute reverse grid race. The guys behind the scenes been working very hard and panicking a little bit to try to get things right, but Victor, fingers crossed this time, third time lucky.
Yeah, knock on wood. Hopefully things are going to be smooth from here on out. Can't quite explain what exactly happened with our server, but the fact is that we had disconnected twice now, and in the interest of our schedule, we've decided to shorten this race to 10 minutes instead of the usual 15. We had to do a qualifying session yet again as we were not able to reconfigure back the same running order from the qualifying session before this. So now all the drivers will have to go out and do only one lap. 3-minute qualifying means there's only one lap possible for all the runners out there. So it's one-shot qualifying for everyone effectively.
Okay, Rahul Dev, he's been consistently good. He was first out. He's wanting to impress today. He won the last reverse grid race. He's actually accumulated points. He'll be looking to put in a good performance. He has already in the now discarded races so far, but in form, if you're in good form, you can carry it on.
I mean, for the last 2 restarts we had, he was able to get himself into the lead of the race pretty much from the start. So hopefully he'll be able to make it third time a charm this time around, but has to qualify into that position though, so let's not forget about that. Judiel Nino Gonzalez is following behind him here, also running on a Mustang. We know that Mustang is fast, given what Eamon Ryan was able to do during qualifying before this race session got reset, so certainly cannot count out Mr. Gonzalez there. As it's Shamli Mokhtar as well, trying to set a good time here in his AMG. We're still seeing whether or not anyone else will be getting themselves up on the board.
Quite a few are still in the pits. I saw Ian Wong hasn't been able to get out of the pit, or has he? No, he might not be able to get out of the pit, nor Amrul Afik.
Neither has Eamon Ryan as well, I think. Oh wait, Eamon Ryan is on track right now, so hopefully he'll be able to set a good time here. And anyone else who's not out of the pits at this point will not be able to set a time, unfortunately. So everyone's just going to have to deal with what's given at this point now. Raul Dev should be coming across the line now. What is his time? A 146.1. Not the fastest we've seen from him, but is that going to be good enough with this very limited qualifying format here to keep him in front? Gonzalez comes in 146.1 as well. Adam Daniel sets a 145.6. He's going to be on the front roll this time.
Yeah, Adam Daniel, the new race leader, and Shakat has come in with a good time as well. Dev is pushed down to the third row of the grid. Shakat, his time is done. Who is out on the circuit?
Matt Munches has just taken away the second spot from Raja Emil Shaukat with a time 145.9, just breaking it under the 146s here, where Raul Dev is currently sitting in 4th place as a result of the time that he's made here. So who else is also going to get himself on top? Jem Sorial,
wow,
from New Zealand.
Where did Jem come from?
Yeah, just out of nowhere, putting in 145.8, enough to put him on the front row alongside Adam Daniel.
Okay, after all the chaos, Rahul Dev will be in P5. Although he's still out on the circuit, there's no checkered flag next to Rahul. Is he able to put in another time as Ethan Rubio comes through?
Well, I doubt so. I mean, going around one more time there, I mean, they've certainly allowed the clock to run on their own lap times after they're going past the start-finish line, so I doubt they'll be able to set any more improvements from that point on. Rubio and Amores, Rubio right now still out on track, or, well, was on track. Now it's gone completely off. Decided to call it quits here, and that should be the end of qualifying. A restart of the qualifying here that we had to do in this bronze class after the disconnection issues faced by all the drivers here in our start of race 1.
Daniel and Soriao on pole, Mad Manchis and Shakat on second row, Rahul Dev and Gonzalez on the 3rd row, Mokhtar and Ryan, I'm glad him and Ryan got out on the circuit, on the 4th row, Rubio and Amores. They're loving it on row 5.
Yeah, so a bit of a topsy-turvy order, certainly a different running order than we saw in our initial start of race number 1. So things are certainly a lot different coming into this race restart here. Of note as well is that the running time has been shortened to 10 minutes now, so it's no longer a 15-minute race here for race 1. So that shorter time means less opportunities, I believe, for drivers to try to make up positions, so could increase the amount of pressure that they will face going into this race here, Des.
Okay, we'll just run through you the first 5 rows. There is Adam Daniel. He is in the turquoise, alongside them Jem Soriano in the yellow and black. Mad Manchis in the pink, and Raja Amral Shukat alongside him on row 2. Rahul Dev made such a great start in the 2 aborted starts. He's on row 3 in P5. Alongside him, Judel Nino Gonzalez. Onto the 4th row of the grid, Azib Shami Mokhtar. And alongside Shami is Iman Ryan. He's in the blue with the red roof. And Ethan Rubio, who was looking good earlier on, car 129 in the yellow. And he is alongside JC Amores. Love that name.
Yeah, lovely names for the Filipinos, but can they put that name up on the top step? We'll have to see. The red lights are off now as we are into the race, a restart of race number 1. Jade Sorial is able to get himself just ahead of Adam Daniel on the start and will cut to take the lead of the race. Matt Manchis in the meantime tucks in behind the AMG in order to try to jostle for second position, but Adam Daniel is not giving him much room, but does give him a bit of gap now for him to slip right through. He's going to be taking up into second place now, and Raul Dev is looking to try to follow him closely behind. Adam Daniel at the moment drops down to 5th place. Now he's fighting there with Raja Emil Shaka. Oh, is he fighting? Raja Emil Shaka slips out of the race there, out of the 3rd turn, and is completely out of the top 10 now. So Matt Manchis takes the lead away from Adam Daniel and is now currently running all the way in front.
Yeah, Matt Manchis, a lovely little maneuver there. He's taken a real amount of time ahead of Daniel. Rubio Gonzalez battling behind them, 3 and 4, both in the yellow liveries. But car 129, Rubio has just sneaked in ahead of him. Ignore Ramadan up at the top. That will, fingers crossed, sort itself out. But Mad Manchis, terrific. Mad by name, but very, very organised by nature, if the start to this restarted race is anything to go by.
Yeah, so he pulls away into the lead right now. I think I saw Lufti and Jiasing Liu fighting just now in the background. Now it looks like Liu is able to get himself up in front of the Ferrari. Tries to head him off a little bit. Oh, forces him onto the apron. Lufti is going to try to cut around from the apron and gets back on track in front of Liu. Just like that indeed. Downforce from these GT3 cars enough to keep them even out of the banking. Still maintaining good speed now as we get into the bus stop chicane. And Lufti, wow, look at that. Cuts in front of him through the bus stop chicane. Comes out in 5th place.
That is the highlight so far. Rifai Lufti in the Ferrari, showing the downforce really works. Use of the apron, you are allowed to use it. There was a lot of debate beforehand whether or not there should be a penalty, but the game doesn't have a penalty, so you can use the apron. Lufti used it to real good effect. Behind them, Tan and Villantura are having a battle royale as well.
Yeah, and Liu decides to go into the pits here early on, so I think he may have to deal with some damage there, perhaps, or somewhat had to change up his strategy. We can see a lot of damage on the side of Jeff Tan's car, so they certainly had been through a lot of contact in the battling in the previous lap here. But he's not quite letting this go without a fight. Gets a little bit of a tap at the back of Eung Yong-jen as he tries to come through, but isn't able to close the gap now. That's putting him under attack now by Villatura.
Villatura, this is the battle for P8. Mohamed Anwar behind them. We're on board with Villatura. He's got Jeff Tan in his sights, and in front of Jeff Tan you've got Jan, and in front of Jan you've got Lufty, who's been the star name so far, the Ferrari, making use of the apron.
Yeah, we're trying to make full use of the track here. Now coming to an all-important corner, coming into the bank turn, have to get the line absolutely right here, but unfortunately Villatura not able to keep up with Jeff Tan. He's now pulling way ahead here and seems to be very secure in his position. Now let's see what's happening up into the top 10 here. I think Amirul Afik was trying to close the gap now to Anwar, but where is exactly Anwar? I don't see him close by. I think he's the one in front. Yeah, he is.
There he is, yeah, P9. He's second in the championship standings coming into today. Yes, you can drop around. Amirul Afik putting Anwar under pressure. Anwar, to his credit, had been knocked out of the earlier race, but he's looking good now. Mad Manchester, meantime, is way ahead, but there's two really good battles here. This is Jeff Tan under pressure from Villatura. Villatura in the pink, looks on the inside. Ooh. A little bit of a knock into the back there of Jeff Tan. Jeff does well to hold on to it.
Yeah, he's closing that gap right now. Tries to look on the outside, cannot quite get it. Now it goes on the inside. This time around, Jeff has to give him the space. Going to the first turn, braking though, under braking. Jeff Tan is able to keep himself just ahead of Villatura, so no chance for Villatura to move up to 7th quite yet.
Yeah, Tan did well. You've got to hold on to your line. You've got to believe that the driver behind you will not crash into you. You're not so guaranteed that in copper and bronze classes, but to be fair, there was good discipline there from Villatura, and Jeff Tan is able to hold on to P7. Behind them, Afik and Anwar are having a good battle as well. Anwar in the, what colour are we calling that? Lime green? Light green?
Well, I think it's like a sky green, maybe.
A sky green, yeah. Okay.
Very pastel, very pastel tone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going on there. Yeah. So Anwar though still trying to keep himself close enough to Amirul Afik. The battle in front of them of Jeff Tan and Villatura still continuing as we get onto the bank turn now. All four of these cars are running the exact same machine here, the Mercedes AMG GT, so not much difference in terms of performance. It's now just up to the drivers here to get themselves up in that places. I think Villatura is having a look at the inside of Jeff Tan right now as we enter the bus stop chicane side by side. This could be tricky though.
Yeah, Villatura will be able to take that one. He's got the right line and he can hold it through the chicane. That's beautifully done by Villatura. And Amirul Afik under pressure from Jeff Tan as well.
Yeah.
Liking that work. And Rifki is pulling on the back of Mohamed Anwar.
Yeah, one of the few Ferraris right now inside we're just outside the top 10. Now he moves into the top 10, but can he hold it though? Inside the banking is still Anwar as he still attempts to stay alongside him through the main part of the Daytona circuit, trying to make this pass happen right in front of the grandstands here, but they still have to bring it all the way to that first turn. Rifki Afiyat around the outside is unfortunately at a disadvantage here as Anwar sneaks his way back up into P10.
Again, that's good racing from Anwar. He's got the racing line. He's got every right to hold it, and it's up to the Ferrari to try to get around the outside. And again, the Ferrari this time goes on the inside, and that is really nicely done by Rizki Afiyat. And actually, poor old Anwar loses 2 places. Rahul Dev, who'd been 5th, he gets himself now into the top 11. He sneaked through ahead of Anwar, and now he's putting pressure on Afiyat.
Yeah, in the meantime, the battle in front of them, Amirul Afik and Jeff Tan continuing on here as we are now exiting the infield section.
Ooh, Jeff, really heavy there on Jeff Tan on Amirul Afik. Afik does well. Again, he holds his line. There was contact, but Afik was able to keep that steering very nice and tight. Really good battling here. This is the battle for B8, 9, 10 and 11. Not much between them.
Yeah, and again with the shortened race time now, 3 minutes remain in this race, so all of these positional changes are even more important than they were in the previous format with the 15-minute race. Raul Dev now struggling to try to keep up with Afiat, could not quite close distance enough and loses time through the bus stop chicane. That's putting him now under attack here from Anwar. In the meantime, Jeff Tan, having already been passed by Amirul Afik, is looking to try to get his position back, but doesn't seem to be making any gains on this back end of the banking here. He's going to have quite a bit of work up ahead for him. So still 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here. Anwar now looking to try to make a move on Raul Dev.
Yeah, Anwar, he's been pushed out a little bit. His nose is out of joint. Rahul Dev takes the low line. Anwar goes out. Rahul Dev defends. Again, I'm liking the work of these races on the GT3s. Oh, he goes on the inside. Anwar, has he got a place back? Did Rahul made a slight mistake, and Anwar for a moment got through, and then Rahul regains the line. Where are we? He's got a left to come. He needs to hold on to this line. And indeed, he's able to do so, Rahul Dev. That's good racing by Rahul.
Yeah, and one now trying to find a gap here, but he's going to be peeking around the outside here. Not exactly the best position, but then again, if he could just make a good exit, perhaps he could close the gap yet to Raul Dev and try to set up for the battle to continue on to the bus stop chicane. But for the moment, they are still fighting outside of the top 10, though, so not much points to be had here, even if they do manage to sort out this battle. But inside the top 10, I think Yong Jen now is finding himself closing in onto Lufti here, and Lufti having no benefit of a car in front of him. Certainly is giving a lot of tow now to the two AMGs behind him.
Yeah, Lufti, this is the battle for P6. I can tell you Matt Manchis ahead has got himself 2.5 seconds clear of Adam Daniel. So that is a really good performance by Mad Manchis. We mentioned him in the qualifying, the original qualifying. We wondered whether he'd live up to his name. He's been very, very secure. This is the battle for P5. Lufti in the Ferrari, the red Ferrari at the moment. There was in spectacular action earlier on. Jan is right behind him. It's 1/10 of a second. Jan has a look on the outside, then looks on the inside and takes the apron, and he's taken the place away, and he will take the line into this corner. Yeah, that's beautifully done into turn number 1, and Lufti is forced wide. Lufti was out Luftied.
Yeah, indeed he was. Villatura now sensing an opportunity here with the wounded Ferrari in front of him. Might be able to make a place if he can just close that gap, while Yong Jen is going to continue to hold him off here while in this 5th position. So fantastic three-way battle now for 5th place. Yong Jen has now starting to pull away from Lufti, and Lufti now having to defend against Villatura behind.
Lufti's been in some highlights. We are just 10 seconds before the final lap.
Yeah, and we are seeing Raul Dev trying to make some moves to make it out with P10. Oh, unfortunately got blocked a little bit by the Ferrari of Fiat, so couldn't quite make that move stick in the second hairpin. In the meantime, though, Lufti, he managed to cut in front of Villatura. And what happens, Yong Jen? Yong Jen spun out completely and lost his position in 5th. What a disaster here for Yong Jen.
So late in the race as well. We are indeed on the last lap. Matt Manchis is still leading the way from Adam Daniel. This is the battle for P5. Villatura and Rafael Lufti really going for it. I'm liking this work from Lufti as they come into the chicane. Oh, that's nice and neat and tidy by Villatura. You can already tell the quality of the drivers at this quality, at this level, but Lufti tries to go on the outside, tries to get a drive. That is a real battle. You heard the engine screaming. Villatura holds on from Lufti. They were alongside each other. In the meantime, the race has been won by Matt Manchis. Daniel second, Gonzalez third, Rubio now then is Villatura able to hold on. Lufti can't get there.
Doesn't quite make it to the 5th there, but what an exciting battle to the very end. Last lap. Battles are always a treat, and Lufti and Villatura was certainly bringing us that entertainment towards the end there. So Matt Manchis takes first place in this race, as you mentioned before. Adam Daniel finishes in a respectable second ahead of Judiel Nino Gonzalez, who finishes in 3rd for the Philippines. Ethan Rubio finishes in 4th place ahead of the two battles we were watching to the very end. Of Villatura, Nico Jorel makes it into that 5th spot ahead of Rifai Lufti. And Amirul Afik finishes in front of Jeff Tan, so that certainly sorts out their battle for P7 there. Rifki Afiat finishes in 9th place, is still out and running on the track there, even after the checkered flag has already been shown. And Raul Dev makes his way up into 10th place, finishes ahead of Farti Anwar.
A slight apology for Mad Manchis. He won this one by nearly 2.5 seconds. A 10-minute race, you win by 2.5 seconds. He was so far ahead, we didn't give him the TLC perhaps he deserved, because there was some great racing going on behind him. But well done to Mad Manchis, and that is 25 points, and almost certainly a fastest lap as well.
Indeed. So I believe we should be going into race 2 once all the runners have already completed their turn, and we'll be ready to get our next session started here.
Reverse grid. So Rahul Dev will be on pole position alongside Afiat, Jeff Tan and Amrul Afik on the second row, Lufty and Villachura on the third, Rubio and Gonzalez on the fourth. Mad Manchis drops down to the fifth. It is the top 10 that the reverse grid is now top 12, top 10. Or is it decided? Is it random?
I believe it's top 10.
Yeah, top 10.
Should by right be top 10. That only gets reversed here. So that will put Rahul Dev now into the front row of race number 2. We have already gotten our session restarted now. So believe this should be by rights a 15-minute race. I'll give you guys an update once we get more information. But at the moment, while Mad Manchis taking the win in the first race, has already gotten a lot of points for himself now. But he will have to start from 10th position here in this reverse grid situation. So a lot of racecraft has been shown from his part here if he wants to be able to top that performance he made in the first race.
Adam Daniel in P2, he picked up 10 points in the previous round. Mad Manchis, this is his first appearance in the campaign. And a long gap, Lacambra, 47 seconds adrift. Lacambra, well, as we saw earlier on, is a better racer than that.
Indeed. Now we're going to be running into our second race. Oh, it's also going to be a 10-minute race. Due to the interest of time, I believe we shortened both race 1 and race 2 as well. So a lot more pressure, I think, for our drivers here. They were coming into this competition expecting a 15-minute long affair. Now that's been cut down by 5 whole minutes, and that's 5 crucial minutes they could have been using to make even more battles happen out on track. Rahul Dev currently on the front row alongside Rifki Afiat. Two of them were fighting very bitterly towards the end of the race, and Rahul Dev was able to just eat his way into the 10th position after, I believe, Yong Jen unfortunately found himself spun out of this of the top 10, and he is going to be starting from 12th position. So certainly a lot of things for him to recover. Jeff Tan starts alongside Amirul Afik, both of them still running the AMG. Lufti in the Ferrari as well, one of 2 Ferraris inside this top 10. Rahul Dev is unfortunately disconnected from the server just as we are about to start here.
We are live, and it's a good start from Jeff Tan, but also Lufty in the Ferrari. He goes on the inside. Lufty is able to use the apron beautifully, and Lufty has got away into turn 1. He's got support behind him. Behind them is all kinds of contact, but Lufty has done well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crash out. Absolute carnage, but Lufty is clear and away. Behind them, Liu and Lim and Hakim and Ryan. They are all in trouble. Novia, Pachinto, all out of it, but Lufty got away to a brilliant start, Victor.
Massive chaos there from the first turn already. It's very difficult, really, to navigate that turn when you got 2 tree cars just sliding around there. Matt Manchis, the winner of race 1, is now trying to put the moves up to Afiat here. He's closing, he's gaining onto Afiat, tries to go around the outside. Afiat, in the meantime, dives on the inside of Ngo Yong Jen, and it is able to cut in front of him by the time to get through that corner. And now that puts Matt Manchis alongside Ngo Yong Jen as we now exit the infield and get onto the banking.
Yeah, Matt Manchis, good start behind him. You've got Liu up at the front. Jeff Tan has got him back in front of Lufty. And this is Rubio and Anwar. That's the battle for P3. Rubio in the yellow, Anwar in, we decided it was pastel colours, didn't we? And there he is in P3. He had a frustrating time, but picked up P11 for 5 points in race number 1, so it keeps him close to the championship leader, or a chance to get close to Faisal Alim, who's the leader is an absentee. But there is Rafael Lufti. I've loved the work of the Ferrari, but he's trailing in P2 at the moment behind Jeff Tan.
Yeah, Jeff Tan managed to make its way up into the front of the grid here. He started, I believe, in 4th or 5th position. Now has made its way into the front, but still under attack from Lufti now as we are headed towards the start-finish straight. I think Lufti is trying to make a move on the inside. Couldn't quite find his way through there, unfortunately. Still has to bring this all the way to the first turn, but he's going to go for a wide line here.
Wow.
Well,
That's
oh
a server
no.
issue. Oh dear.
Yeah, oh dear.
Hopefully it's just us. Hopefully it's just us.
We'll have to wait
And
a
that the
bit.
racers themselves are able to carry on. We'll be patient for a moment. The server seems to be unavailable, sadly, to us.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if we're able to reconnect in time to see what happened to our race. So as we witnessed just now, Lufty was almost attempting to make the move onto Jeff Tan before. Unfortunately, we were not able to continue viewing that battle here. That was an all-important pass for the lead of the race here. 7 minutes still remaining. We're still not able to get any information from the server yet, so things are not looking good on the hosting front, unfortunately.
With very little information to give to you, we can only offer our apologies and desperately try to talk to the technical boys to catch it up. It's a shame because that had started out as a good-looking little race. Some of the information in front of us in this 10-minute race is still up there, but there've been so many problems. Yeah. Mokhtar and Manchis, Manchis who won race number 1. Okay. Jeff Tan is out there, but there's too many drivers who are D's for us. Jeff Tan was the original leader.
But I do not see where Afiat is at the moment. I'm not sure if he's still on the server. In fact, I still see Jeff Tan in the lead right now. He's just gone past the start-finish line. And Anwar comes through. I think he was certainly in third.
Lufty was the one who was very close to second.
Yeah.
He didn't just take the wrong line. That wasn't a genuine crash that we saw, was it? So people are out there. So maybe the racers are still seeing things going on. But poor old Lufty was where was Lufty and where is he now? Lufty was in P2 and Lufty is now
nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. At least at the moment, the running order is still a little bit messy right now. So I think we just hit another disconnection here. I think we may have to make a rerun of bronze class if this is the case here, because we've already had too many disruptions in this race here, and I think that's not going to be good in the interest of competitiveness in this global edition. We may have to do a rerun of this race here should this disconnection issues continue to persist here.
What could possibly go wrong, I asked at the start of the night.
Well, unfortunately, quite a bit has gone wrong here, unfortunately, for our bronze class. We will likely have to do a rerun of this because it's certainly not good for these drivers to continue running when you have disconnection issues continue to plague our server here. So very unfortunate we're not going to be able to see a conclusion, especially to some of the really good battling that we saw up until that point. Even with the reduced format here, it seems like instability on the server seems to be the main problem here.
It certainly does. We're still staying on our screen though that some drivers are going through and the clock is counting down. So I'm wondering whether it's the connection to us, which doesn't help anybody at home or who's watching this feed.
Yeah, so I think we're going to be taking a short break here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll give you word later on as we come back, whether we will be continuing the rest of the festivities, as it were, for this third round of the GE15. So on that note, we'll be right back. My name is Victor. Joining me here is Des, and we'll see you guys after the break, so don't go away.
Pewter is about possibilities. It is an idea made real. Crafted with precision. It can make tradition timeless. Pewter evolves. When allowed to be free, it can captivate you. Pewter is our legacy, and we're keeping the legacy alive. Royal Selangor, since 1885.
We welcome you back to the eRGP Global Edition season number 15. We've had technical problems, sadly, that have caused us to abandon the bronze category races. We'll try and make up another time to re-race that. Fingers crossed the server Victor is going to be good, because we do plan to run the silver and gold category. We still trust in the technology. We still trust in the server. The silver and gold has been quite a lot of fun so far this year.
Yeah, it certainly has. Even though the skill level is obviously a lot higher in this on this category here, I think the result, the end result, is that everyone is quite close in terms of their skill level actually coming into this series here. And given that some of these guys will be running in the LMP hybrid or the LMDH cars, and then some guys will be running on LMP2, this effectively kind of runs like a multi-class race here. So that it creates a lot of variables that our drivers will have to contend with coming into this class.
There are two classes going on. We mentioned silver and gold. Let's have a look at the standings as they are, starting with the gold medal. And Dario Hasnam, he's the man who has the lead, the Indonesian, but there's a lot of contenders there. Riparip from Philippines, Nabil, of course, Aslam, if he's in the server for today, Irfan Hidayat and Rialto Restafani, right the way down to Dafa Nabil with 24 points. You know, with two rounds still to go, there's this championship is very much up for grabs.
Oh, for sure. It was very, very close up on the top especially, so I don't think that Mario Hasnam can feel that secure with his lead at the moment, especially with strong runners from the Philippines in the form of Riparip, and also from Nabil Aslan, who I'm not too sure whether he'll be joining us for this round here. I don't quite see him in the server, unfortunately, but nevertheless, yeah, a bit of a shame that we won't be seeing that kind of battle for him, because he's of course tied right now with Irfan Nur Hidayat for that championship. So as we have a look in the silver class standings here, Chesalam has a lead of only about 7 points ahead of Muhammad Hamdani. The driver from Hong Kong has certainly been an outstanding performer when it comes to the Global Edition in previous seasons, and this season is no different. He and Dominic Foon has so far been quite the drivers to beat, you know, and having come from a long way in Hong Kong, one wonders what will it really take to actually challenge them successfully in the top.
Yeah, Justin Hung's a name I recognise as well. Adam Harith has gone up from bronze into silver for today. Jaden Cheers, another name that I recognise. Remember, we're running the two standings in the same race here, so there's two things that we need to be closely keeping an eye on. Chester Lamb, though, has that lead of 7 points from Hamdani. A good performance here today, and he could be in a really strong position going into the fourth round in a couple of weeks' time.
Indeed, and yeah, that's 2 weeks away from the final round of the season here, so every single point they can get in these races are absolutely important. So we'll be jumping into the qualifying session for our gold and silver class soon. It'll still be on the same track. Hopefully we'll still be running in the full length of the race as well, which should be 15 minutes for both race 1 as well as race 2. With the multi-class system here, I'm seeing at least 17 names inside the server right now, so there'll be a good mix of challengers inside this competition here. But yeah, I think once we are able to get things started here with our 6-minute qualifying session, we'll be able to see what the running order will be for our gold and silver classes.
Yep, Chester Lamb is first one out. Vishnu and Riparip, who is he'll be looking hard to really take an opportunity to take the lead in the championship. Right then, is our mate Hasnam, is he in the server? He is indeed. Demario Hasnam is in the server as Vishnu comes out.
Yeah.
Outlaps first, of course. And 2 racers in one, but very, very different vehicles. One is based on Daytona in its name.
Yeah, LMDH, the hybrid version of the Le Mans prototypes, new this time around in the WEC. And if you've been following the most recent season, WEC has been very tight competition amongst all the different makes that are represented in the current Endurance Championship, which we have faithfully recreated here thanks to the mods being brought in by the Racing Rats. As you can see, the LMP2 cars are using the Orica model, so in order for you to identify which ones are in the silver class and which ones are running in the gold class, basically the Orica badge indicates they are running in the silver class, whereas the other makes are definitely running inside the gold class.
Indeed. Riparip is first out. We've got 31 drivers in the server. Hamdani is there as well.
Hamdani.
Aslam and Damario waiting for him.
Yep.
He's chasing. He's a little bit late to come out. You want to set a time in qualification.
Well, there's still 4 minutes remaining, so it's still time, or like 1 minute of time remaining for him to come out, get out of his outlap and set a fastest flying lap here. At the moment, the fastest person on track here is this man, Chester Lam, having set a 1:40.7. But given that he is running in the silver class LMP2, don't think he'll be staying in that top spot for long. Unfortunately, it looks like another disconnection has just hit us here in the silver class. I don't see any drivers out on the track right now. Yep, server seems to be unavailable one more time, Des. I think we may be having to discuss a little bit right now about the situation here for our gold and silver class.
Frustrating.
Yeah.
For the drivers in particular, for those who are watching the stream, and particularly for us here as well. Qualification is ongoing. Everybody is out of the server at the moment.
Well, we have to wait and see if we can get a reconnection here. But I think it'd be worth noting that we are currently in discussions right now to figure out when we're going to be doing a rerun of the bronze class. And if this situation with the server persists as well for the silver class here, I think we may have to do a rerun as well for the gold and silver class. So massive apologies for everyone joining us from the live stream here. This is something that's kind of out of our control here from broadcast, given that this is well, I'm still not exactly sure if this is specifically a server issue or a networking issue, but nevertheless, it does seem that we are disrupted right now from being able to start our round.
Indeed. No news is bad news.
Yeah.
Sometimes no news is good news, but no news is bad news. And it says connection issue for us. And I think everybody has been disconnected.
Yeah, very unfortunate turn of events here, ladies and gentlemen. We still have an opportunity to try perhaps to restart the server here. I mean, given that we haven't even run into the races yet, so we probably will be able to get a restart from the start of the session here in qualifying. So no times, I believe, that have been set so far are going to be definitive for our race. So that should be a sigh of relief, I think, for some of our drivers here who were certainly hoping to be able to get themselves on top step.
I think while we try to sort it out, our sponsors are going to have another airing. Very pleased for Xbox. Thank you for them to be so behind the ERGP. They have been with us right from the very start. Let's have a little look about what they're going to do. We're going to go for a short break, try and sort this out, and bring you some news in a couple of minutes' time.
Pewter is about possibilities. It is an idea made real. Crafted with precision. It can make tradition timeless. Pewter evolves. When allowed to be free, it can captivate you. Pewter is our legacy, and we're keeping the legacy alive. Royal Selangor, since 1885.
Race number 1 here for the Global Edition 15 Gold and Silver class. Russell Reyes just immediately rocketing to the start. Entering a very slow part of Silverstone here. He's not going to be able to make up a place. I feel a lot of traffic still ahead of him, but he's still tantalizingly close. In the meantime, Nabil Aslan trying to fight back. He actually cuts through the grass here. Might actually open himself up for attack here by the Ferrari just alongside. Manages to just keep the Toyota ahead, closing the door here, preventing another car from being able to get through.
The gap has sort of oozing away. You know, there's a lot more gaps in terms of the drivers.
Nabil Aslan though still in the running here for a possible race lead. Already dispatched one of the back markers, I believe, so they shouldn't be facing much resistance from here on out. Nabil Aslan now continuing to try to keep close with the Lamborghini. Didn't quite get a slipstream that time around, but again, just laser focus on trying to keep his racing line through this section.
We had a little bit of a moment there as he approaches this really tight, is it left-hander? Oh, a little slide as well. Yeah. Like I said, you know, I think we were talking about it. These cars feel like they're on ice. Oh, is it overtake right there? I'm not sure who that was on. Is that? I'm not sure who that overtake was on, but he's been really. Oh my God!
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's losing it, losing a lot of speed, a lot of time. Another car now just coming around here, just behind him. I think there's Roger Shortcut and Justin Hung. Justin Hung actually managed to get through there. So I think there's Raja Emil Shortcut who lost a couple of positions there just before our very eyes. Nabil Aslan has been chasing our race leader Rialto Ristofani for the entirety of the latter half of this race number 1, but he has tried many opportunities, constantly getting himself a little bit wide, especially on this corner here. Let's have a look on board. This time it looks like it's getting nice and clean. Had to slow down a bit.
I think the race is over. The race is
over. The race is over. Ristofani has taken the win in race number 1 in a Lamborghini here for the gold class. And now we are off for race number 2 here of the gold and silver class. Ristofani still leading ahead, still able to get a better start compared to Nabil Aslan, who drops immediately to 3rd at the start. Aslan weaving around 3 cars just behind him, still trying to vie around for a possibility of getting on the podium. Nabil Aslan beats them to the chase though and takes back his position here from Hasnam.
Yeah, it was the Acura of Dafa Nabil going side by side with Demario Hasnam as we approach this long straight here.
Yeah, Hasnam now losing another place here, this time to Nabiel. He drops down to 4th position, I believe, for gold class. Dafa Nabiel still around the outside, still trying to keep the Ferrari at bay here, trying to catch up to Muhammad Kamal Ali. He's in a good position now to try to overtake here. Yes, he does find his way through. Don't think Kamal actually put up much of a fight actually. Felix Young just easily making his way through.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh, Ristofani just lost his position here to Nabil Aslan. He's trying to get it back around the outside, bumping bumper to bumper with Nabil Aslan, but Nabil stays ahead here. What a moment of lapse of concentration maybe, or something has caused Rialto Ristofani to lose the lead of the race. Now he's not quite out of it yet. He still is behind Nabil Aslan, coming through cars. We're seeing how Nabil Aslan, both of them,
oh my goodness,
went completely wide through cops there, unfortunately. So Rialto Ristofani now continuing to try to close the gap, but Nabil Aslan is starting to pull away.
Nevertheless, right now there's a little bit very close there between Russell Reyes and I think was it Faris Ashan there in both in the Acuras, as we see the van wall going on the inside of 2 maggots and backers right now. There's a lot of this is the close racing that I was talking about. It's really close right now. So you see Rialto Ristofani. Oh, he just got overtaken by Dafa Nabil in the Acura, and
Russell Reyes in the meantime, he's caught up to Ramdani, who went a little bit wide. That could be the position taken away from Ramdani now as Russell Reyes ends up just in front of him. 5 seconds still remaining on the countdown. Nabil Aslan still in the lead of this race. Where exactly is Demario Hasnam here in terms of the standings here? He's actually caught up here to Rialto Ristofani. Is Ristofani going to lose another position here? His line is not looking too good. Hasnam goes over the curbing, but isn't able to get in front of the green Lamborghini.
Yeah, Demario Hasnam just was a little bit optimistic there, actually cut the track. But nevertheless, I think that is it. Nabil Aslan is your race 2 winner, ladies and gentlemen, in the Toyota. And Dafa Nabil takes a respectable P2. Oh, a little bit of an incident there as we finish. Rialto Ristofani, who was leading the race up until that overtake by Nabil Aslan in P3.
Race number 1 here.
Well, welcome back.
Yep.
I think we're going to have a little bit of bad news for any one of you who are still on the stream. If you are, hope you enjoyed those highlights. That was round 2 of the ERGP season number 15. Sadly, round 3 has been beset with connection problems, and we had to abandon the bronze race. And we've got so many server connection issues. It looks like we're going to have to abandon the gold and silver. Victor, is there an explanation?
At the moment, no. We're still trying to get information about what exactly went wrong with our server connection here, but as far as we can see, we cannot really identify what the issue is at the moment. So unfortunately, decision has been made to call things off. We'll probably have to do a rerun, both for the bronze class races as well for the gold and silver classes. So we'll be announcing on our socials as well as on Discord to decide when we're going to be doing that rerun. But we'll definitely do that rerun for sure. I mean, again, we're talking about the third round of the season now. We have one more round to go after this. We definitely want to ensure that everyone is having, you know, an opportunity,
a fair chance.
Yeah, a fair chance to challenge for the championship, right? So, given all the issues that we are facing right now, unfortunately, the call is to call off the race for tonight, and unfortunately, we'll have to reschedule this for another time.
So with apologies, it was fun to be back in the chair. I hope to be back in a couple of weeks' time, and for the rerun of round 3 as well. And there's Kokil signing off along with Victor Ang with our apologies, but we are abandoning racing for the night. Good night.
Yeah, so but in any case, for everyone who is watching from home, I mean, thank you all actually for joining us on this run, even though things kind of went awry during this. But we do appreciate you all sticking with us through all these trials and tribulations here. And it's been great having you back on the desk here together with me, Des. It's been a long time since we've been able to do this together, particularly remembering first time that eRGP first hit the shores here in Malaysia, up until now, the 15th season of Global Edition. And it's kind of sad that things have turned out this way for tonight, but hopefully things will be better next time we come back on the booth.
Indeed. Fingers crossed. Thanks for
Yeah.
sticking with us. Good night for now.
Yeah, so that'll be a good night for us. My name's Victor. Joining me here is Des, and we'll see you guys on the next stream, and we'll give you guys an update on socials on our rerun for the bronze class and gold and silver class. This has been round number 3 of the Global Edition here at eRGP, and we'll see you guys in the next one.